Good evening, everyone from Saint-Auban again for another competition day today on the 10th of September 2021. The program of the day, we'll talk about the results yesterday. The overall results, the task for today, bombastic task, the weather and the arrival procedure. Again, another surprise, another guest tonight with us. So that's the team that you know already. I would like to thank them again for this great event, and I would like to thank everyone who sent some messages the past few days about the event. I really appreciate it. So thanks a lot, guys. So today is the 10th, so that's the last day coming up tomorrow. And that's the same for the real SGP. Live to start, I think, tomorrow at 1:30 for the real SGP, so follow that. And then tonight in the evening, we'll be at the bar at 8 p.m. with all the pilots to comment the virtual race. The schedule of the competition day, you know it already, but for those who are joining us tonight, briefing starts at 7:45 local time in France every evening. Then the pilots join the servers at 8, and the race starts around 8:30. Arrivals 2 hours later, more or less. The scoring, it's all good for now. Everyone understood that, and you need to go on condor.club for the guys flying the open event. Additional information. So day 5 is now official. Day 6 will be unofficial tomorrow at 10 UTC and official at 18 UTC. Some clarification about the AHRS, and flying in the clouds. As you know, it's forbidden to fly in the clouds, but in Condor we have cloud penalty, so we can see what's happened if someone really flew for quite some time in the clouds or not. There were some small penalties yesterday with that, but when we checked, it was only for a second or half a second in the cloud, so it was really nothing for us, and there were no penalties for the guys involved. Just a reminder about the problem we had some days ago with the open event, so on the 7th already. You can still, I think, send your files. Decision is that we will establish the final ranking with the top 6 flights instead of top 7. The results from yesterday, that was day 5 with the winner of the day, Jeroen from Belgium with 128.2 kph. The second is Benfest, the German pilot with 128 kilometers per hour. And the last one, just a few seconds behind, Donna Pierluigi from France. Overall results now, no surprise, Jeroen and Benfest are leading the competition tonight with a very consistent competition so far for the two pilots. Witold Rozak is just behind with 32 points on the podium. Donna Pierluigi with 30 points. Arne Martin Gutler from Norway with 25 points. Joshua Meyers from the US with 19 points. Mikko Nurminen from Finland with 13 points. Halil Koroglu there from Turkey with 10 points. Same for Tim Madsen from Denmark. And Gorka Eldoyan entering in the top 10 tonight with 9 points from Spain. Airspace, the airspaces are free for today as well. We are flying the Alps, so it's quite nice and quite open. The weather, bombastic weather with the wind from 313 degrees for 23 kilometers per hour. Wind at 3,000 meters around 30 kph, at 5,000 around 50 kph. Very nice thermals, strong thermals. You can expect 3 to 5 meters per second, ceiling at 3,400 in the flatlands, so that's in Saint-Auban, and 4,000 meters, a little bit even more in the mountains. Cumulus 2.8, wave moderate to low, cirrus clouds 1.8. That's the task of the day that was published on esport.sgp.aero at around 4 p.m. local time in France. 350 kilometers. Start from Malmoisson, that's east of Saint-Auban. Then you will fly to Col Aniel, followed by turn point 2 in the Écrin to take the voie royale. Then to go down to Col de Pas de la Cavale. And then you will cross the lakes of Serponçon, then Castillon, to go to Logis du Pin. That's an outlanding field near Fayence, between the Lake of Castillon and Fayence, to be very precise on that. Then reporting point 200, and still the same finish as yesterday, even though the wind is coming from the northwest. So that's going to be crosswind during landing for you. So a small tailwind that you can expect, but the preferential runway in Saint-Amand is a soft one, so we'll go for that. Maximum ground speed 170 kph, maximum altitude 1,800 qnh. You know it as well, and minimum altitude for the finish line is 500 meters. So same landing procedures as usual. You may expect a little bit more distance during the landing roll with a small tailwind. So try to anticipate that, but the airfield is quite long, so it shouldn't be a problem for you. Arrival penalties. There were some penalties, I think, yesterday for Gorka, and I think that's it. Everyone understood really properly the penalties for that, so thanks a lot, guys. Safety, well, always the same comments. There's still some penalties for not early start. That's quite good, but for exceeding maximum speed at start, or just for above maximum start altitude. So 1,808 yesterday, I think, for Thomas Meyer, if I'm right. Thermals, they're going to be quite strong today, so there might be some differences between all the pilots. Please watch out for others. And the first pilot who arrives in the thermal will decide if we turn left or right, and everyone must turn and climb in the same direction, actually. Some examples from yesterday and Martil analysis. Fox 1, Tango Sierra, November X-ray, and Sierra Lima Lima. You were a bit too low on the flatlands on the Puy-Michel and Valençol, but it was okay. Outlandings were okay for Fox 1 and Tango Sierra. Victor 1, we saw it during the live streaming, a bit too low on Puy-Michel before deciding to outland. We have a special guest tonight, Brian Spreckley from the FAI SGP, so director and vice president of the IGC Commission as well at the FAI. So you may ask him some questions during the live, so on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and yeah, just ask anything you want about gliding or about FAI, any project or anything. You will be there at around 8:40 or 9 p.m. around that time. If you have any question, I will come on the chat and with you guys on the pilot frequency, and I will see you at the commentaries of the FAI channel tonight. There will be no French commentaries, so going to be English commentaries for FFBP as well on the YouTube channel. Enjoy your flight. Thanks a lot, and it's going to be bombastic. You will love it. Today in Saint-Amand, it was overcast with some light rain, so pilots couldn't fly. So we decided to make a really nice flight for you with a lot of speed. So hopefully we will reach around, I think, 200 kph as average speed tonight for 350 kilometers. Sorry. So enjoy, guys, and we see you on Condor in about 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks. Enjoy. Welcome everyone tonight to this new race today. We are flying still from Saint-Auban, and we will have 350 kilometers to do tonight. 20 pilots from 20 countries. Aude from France will come and commentate with me tonight. We'll have Brian Preckley as well, director of the FAI SGP, and on the live, and Aude is coming just right now and joining us. So there we are, guys, with Ali Koroglu, 7 minutes before the start of the race. Good evening, Aude.
Hello, Antoine.
So we are back over Saint-Auban. We have the start line here, Malmoisson. I'm going to show you the task for tonight, or maybe Timothée can show us the 2D view for the race tonight. Thanks. So we will start from Malmoisson, Malmoisson outlanding fields. Then we go up to the northeast, near the Italian border, as you can see, to Col Agnel. Then turn point 2 will be in the Écrin. Turn point 3, Pas de la Cavale, that's still in the Écrin, to have the pilots getting out of those mountains. So that's going to be the highest mountains you will see during this week. Then to Logis du Pin. Logis du Pin outlanding field is between Castillon, Lac de Castillon, and Fayence. Then we'll have reporting point 200 to land on the south runway in Saint-Auban. So back with the 3D view. So we have the Turkish pilot. So each pilot come from one country, and they have a skin that has been created for the country. So public can understand who is flying which glider and just who is racing. So that's the Turkish pilot. Very easy to recognize because he has a nice skin and his competition number is TUR for Turkey. That's the Hungarian pilot, Tamas Mayer, with his skin. And the race will start in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So we are just above Saint-Amand. Aude, how is the week going in the real Grand Prix? Is it nice to do? We know you do a lot of commentaries in French. So do you like to do it? And just how is the week going so far?
In the real race?
Yeah, in the real race.
Yeah. So it's pretty nice. I must admit, I know the area quite well. I've been flying there for at least 7 years. And yeah, so I know the area pretty well. I've been flying here for 7 years. So it's a real pleasure to see the race and to comment, to describe the options, what the pilots can do, what is risky, what is good. So I think there are a lot of things to share for the real race, and we are doing our best to, with Eric Napoleon, the French team coach, to highlight the key points of the race. And I've been looking at this virtual race some evenings, and I must admit it's quite different regarding the weather conditions. It's in Condor not possible yet to set the same weather as in the real life. It's impossible, I think, even if we have this update coming, it will even be impossible. But still, it's very interesting to see the pilots doing things that I think are hardly doable in real life. But amazing virtual race, amazing final glides. I've watched, I think, the third race with Donna Pia doing an amazing arrival in Saint-Auban. So I think it's really entertaining. It's also something that we have to promote because it it enables people to fly even if they do not have the possibility to do it physically. So I like the idea. I like the concept. And yes, I wish you all a nice race tonight. You are lucky to fly because today you know that in Saint-Auban we had to cancel the day and the weather was not good. And you have the chance in Condor to fly still. So I heard that you are going to fly in very good conditions with cumulus. We can see them in the sky, very high above the mountains. And yeah, you are lucky to visit and discover the Alps a little bit further north. I've never been there in real life, even if I have more than 300 hours there. So, well, lucky guy, just enjoy your race. And yeah, I wish that the best pilot will win tonight. Let's see what you will do.
Thanks, Aude. No, it's really good. It's really good so far. So stop join. We stop in 2 minutes, and then it will be. So now it's 17 minutes before the start of the race. Actually, so yeah, just now the pilots are trying to check the weather. How it's working in Condor right now. Pretty good weather should be. With variometers thermal between 3 and 5 meters per second. It's really strong weather. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, it's really strong. We told them yesterday, you know, if we were not gonna fly in the real SGP, for you guys, you will still fly because we can do that in Condor, and the aim of the week is to promote gliding. So if we have a possibility to fly, we fly, and tonight we have the opportunity to fly. So we all fly virtually, and we told them because the weather conditions were quite difficult for the pilots in Condor. We could make it really tough because the thermals are really far away from each other. So it's not easy to find the thermals and to climb in the game. So
But they are strong. And
yeah,
well,
but now today they are really strong and very high.
Yeah.
Why they are so high? Even in Saint-Auban, because we needed to have a high cloud base in the mountains to be able to go above those mountains and to make it feasible for the pilots to do the race tonight, because we're gonna fly in really high mountains now, so it's gonna be really nice. So that's the stop join in that we have top left. Then the pilots cannot enter the race anymore. So if they had a connection problem, they cannot join anymore. But then the race will start 15 minutes later after that point. So we still have 15 minutes before the race, because now the pilots, they are at more than 2,000 meters. Maximum altitude will still be 1,800. We kept it very simple. This way, it's easily understandable for everyone.
Yeah.
And today, they must be careful because there's a very high ceiling. And if we had started at, let's say, 3,000 or 3,800 meters, the ground speed would not have been the same. So not the same settings before starting the race for the guys. So I think there would have been a lot of penalties if we would have changed that altitude. So we kept it like this.
Well, from my real pilot point of view, of course, these conditions, these very homogeneous conditions between the plain, the flatlands, and the mountains are quite unrealistic. But yeah, they will. Yeah, they are good for the virtual race, but you must figure out that it might not be the case in real life when you will fly here. And yeah, I think on this task you may expect to achieve to reach very high speeds. What do you expect, Antoine?
Yeah, probably we should have. I think that's why we made this task. We wanted to have a super quick task, maybe 200 kph for the winner tonight, because we have good wind. It comes from the northwest at 23 kilometers, and in Condor it's quite good to have 23 kilometers on the ridges, and basically the ridges are very well aligned.
Yeah.
As from start to jump point one at least, And then when we go down back from turn point 3 to turn point 4 to Logis du Pin, it's going to be quite nice as well. So they're going to really fly fast on the ridges. And we have strong thermals to help them get higher before joining the high mountains. So it should be really okay and easy for everyone tonight. And we expect, really a strong race from everyone. And we have a nice comment from Benfest on the screen. So that's the German pilot. He said, I forgot that Condor could produce this strong lift, because usually they are very weak, or we make it at 1.5, maximum 2.5 meters per second. In Condor, we try to keep it realistic, and we don't often have 3 or 5 meters per second. So tonight, I think they are going to quite enjoy this race, those pilots.
Yeah, you are very lucky to benefit from such nice weather conditions. You know that 1.5 to 2 meter per second average climbing speed, it's quite good. Yesterday, the pilots in the real race, they had sometimes less than 0.5 meter per second average lift. So it was very difficult for them. You've seen that the strongest, the best average speed was 100 kilometers per hour. It was Sebastian Kawa. And yeah, you are always faster than in the virtual, than in the real life. Yeah. So this highlights, I think, the point that it's easier in Condor. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the thing that they want to change in Condor in the future is the weather model for the next version. I've never seen any photo or video, but I heard that it was really, really nice, and they tried to make it really realistic. And they're gonna build like macro areas where you can more or less choose where what's the weather gonna be like in each area. So you can set thunderstorm in the southeast of your task, for example. Then you can have a very different weather for the same task, and that what was missing in Condor. Now, in this competition, it's very homogeneous, something like this. So the weather is the same everywhere. So it's really tough to make choices and to anticipate, because once you have flown for 50 or 100 kilometers, then you know that the weather is going to be like this throughout the task. And what makes a difference with the real world is that in real life, you need to be very good at anticipating the weather to be able to win the day or the competition. So that's a small difference that we have right now, but I think it's going to change with version 3 of Condor. And I think, yeah, that was quite good to have Chris from Condor yesterday to talk about the future of Condor and talk about that new version that will come up. And hopefully it will bring a lot of things. There's not only weather, but the main part of it is the weather. So yeah, I think it's going to bring a lot to the esport competitions. And yeah, we will see where we go and where we're going. And voila, that's it. So we are back with François Paul. He's the only African pilot. He's flying for South Africa here. We were supposed to have Matthew Scudder from Australia, but finally he could not join us. So François replaced him because we are missing someone from Africa at the beginning, and now he's here. Flying the GS3, as you can see, nice thermals, 3,300 meters above Saint-Auban. Yeah, it's summer days in Saint-Auban. This kind of weather. We had this weather, I think, in August, mid-August in Saint-Auban. You could see the cumulus at 4,000 meters. So it happens to have this kind of weather. Not every day, that's for sure, but you have sometimes this weather. And you can see really well on that screen the difference between the maximum start altitude that they will have to reach, maybe, and that's a crash of Condor. And we will get back to the 2D view right now and come back in Condor in a few seconds. It happens. Thanks. I'll let Aude speak a little bit, maybe about the task or whether anything.
Yeah, so today, Antoine, do you think there might be some penalties on the start line crossing because of the high cloud base altitude and people maybe trying to just cross the start line as high as they can, and maybe the wind might not be an issue, but the altitude, the cloud base. Or have there been penalties on the virtual race so far?
Yeah, mainly the penalties that they received came from the start. Often they don't manage properly the energy that they have. And when the weather is really good like this, they have a tendency to stay much higher than what they need to do to cross the line. So either they start a little bit too high, a few meters above, because they didn't manage properly the energy, and are often too fast because there are a lot of things to do during the start. They need to check on the left and the right to avoid maybe mid-air collisions. 20 gliders crossing the start line at the same time. And a very small start line, it's 5 kilometers long, so don't have a lot of space. And often all the pilots want to reach the first cumulus and the same one. So it's often difficult and they try to get placed in the best way. But yeah, they have some difficulties to manage properly the energy at the start. I would say that's the main issue that we have for penalties. But it was more difficult at the beginning of the week. Now they're starting to understand really that it can cost a lot to have penalties, basically.
Okay, and just regarding the task, now we have a nice 2D views of the whole task. They are going to fly over quite high mountains. In real life, I would not be that comfortable over the Écrin Massif at 4,000 meter above mean sea level. How do you think they are going to handle this part of the task?
Well, I think that's why we try to make quite an easy task today, because we wanted to have good weather for them to be able to do that. Because if you don't know the area, it's going to be very difficult to fly in those mountains, and some of them come from flatlands and so on. So it's not easy to fly. So we try to make a bombastic weather, but as well something that is really feasible for them to do and to enjoy. I think we needed a task in the high mountains just to have something very fair for everyone, because yesterday it was mainly about flatlands. We went near Vinon, then Lake of Sainte Croix, back to the Valenty fields between Sisteron and Gap, and then back to Saint-Auban. So it was really flatland for flatland pilots yesterday. So we had a great race like this, and now we are back racing, but in really high mountains, and we didn't have that for the week yet. We went to Pic de Bure, it was the maximum, the highest mountain that we had. So now it's gonna be something else with the Écrin. I think they're gonna love it, and we're gonna love it too on the live, because it's really nice sceneries that we can see. We'll see amazing footage, I think, from tonight's race. So yeah, I just cannot wait to see them reaching that point. And something else is that we tried to align the points a little bit with the mountains. So between turn point 1 and turn point, so between start and turn point 1. So I have the map here. They will start from Malmoisson, and then they probably go to Blayeul or go directly to Coupe. Climb, then take the parcours, probably Tête de l'Estrop, Cantiloane, Grand Bérard, and follow all the peaks and mountains to Col Aniel, which is just near the Italian border. Then it's gonna be maybe tricky for them to get between Col Aniel and the Écrin. They need to follow a good way. We'll see how it goes for them. And then in the Écrin, it's gonna be easy again, because they're gonna be on the best side of those mountains, on the highest sides of those mountains. Actually, yeah, they're gonna just enter right here.
Prendre la voie royale.
Yeah, voie royale. So yeah, just near Briançon, is gonna enter the Écrin right here, and then come to Bar des Écrins, the highest one, 4,100 meters. So we will see them probably at 4,300, 4,400 meters there. So quite high. They took their oxygen, so that's good for the day. And now they will, and then they will go to Pas de la Cavale and go out of the Écrin to fly down towards to the parcours again. So it will take the parcours again and then go down to Logis du Pin. Yeah, so that's a field that we use quite a lot. We don't land there, but we use it to stay safe a lot when we fly near Crête du Taillon. When you are low there, you need to be able to have something. Castellane is not good, you cannot land there. So either La Mure or Logis du Pin is your hot landing field if you need so. And then they are back. And I think the trickiest part of the flight will be between Logis du Pin and Saint-Auban, because there the wind is coming really straight in their face. So they will have to be really careful with that. And I think there are going to be quite some good cumulus to help them to get there, because mountains are not well aligned at all. And yeah, they will have to be really careful. And then it's reporting point 200 that you know already, and to finish on the soft finish line.
Yeah, that's interesting that you talk about the wind, and on the final glide, maybe they can rely on some nice cloud streets. Why not? I haven't seen them obviously in the sky so far, but yeah, maybe they can hope for cloud streets. And do you think there will be traps on this task? Some very tricky moments, tricky areas to cross, like high how to say, comment tu dis un passage, un col, high pass, mountain pass, so to say, or maybe key points in the higher slopes or towards Logis du Pin, which is quite also a tricky area from my point of view. In real life, it's also an area where we can have some bad surprises with downdraft in the downwind of the slopes, and yeah, you have poor outlanding possibilities. So in real life, it's really an area where you have to be very cautious. So do you think there are traps?
Yes, there are traps on this task. For sure at the start already, because they're going to start much lower than the cloud base. So then it will be very interesting to see what they do. If they want to go straight to maybe Coupe and take the ridges at Coupe, or maybe try to take the first cumulus, climb at 4,000, and then 3,500, I think, near Saint-Auban, and then go straight to the top point one. So that's the first thing they need to, the first choice they need to make. Then there may be some traps to go between Barcelonnette and turn point one. It's gonna be difficult, I think, because the mountains are good, but they're quite flat at some places. So it's not gonna be easy. If you do on the ridges, I think it's gonna be tough. And then then they need to cross and to go to Les Écrins. And the Écran Mountains, it's difficult to get in. So you need to climb again. And then for the rest of the flight, I think it's going to be okay to go down to Logis du Pin. But probably the hardest thing will be Logis du Pin and Saint-Auban, because they're going to have a lot of pressure. I think everyone will still be a little bit in some gaggles together. So it's going to be difficult to win the day if they are 10 in the end, very close to each other. So yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I think on this task, there could be two different strategies: flying over the slopes, ridge flying, and maybe thermal flying a little bit higher. I would be very curious to see which strategy is going to pay, which strategy will be irrelevant. And yeah, I leave you now, Antoine. I leave you all to get ready for this start of the race. Enjoy your race. You're very lucky to fly today. We had such poor weather in Saint-Auban with rain over the afternoon. So just enjoy this virtual race and see you later. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot, Aude, for joining us and for coming tonight. Get some rest for tomorrow, because you need to do the weather and to plan the task with Regis, and then to comment with the FFVP. So yeah, Enjoy your night. Thanks for coming. So guys, you can go in the chat and already ask your question. Brian Spreckley, as the director of the FAI SGP and vice president of the IGC Commission, will come and join us. So you may ask any questions that you have about SGP, about racing, about the future of gliding, I don't know, electric flights, anything. Any question that you have, just ask, and we will try to answer them properly. Back with Bentfest, looks like the pilot took the start now. We didn't have the countdown on the screen, unfortunately, but yeah, they're gone now. Flying at 200 kph, Bentfest leading, and we've seen quite some pilots going straight to Cousson and to Coupe in the background. But now Bentfest with Donapierre following. JJJ is here between the two gaggles. And I think he's gonna go to Cheval Blanc, so probably trying to get a cumulus there, and then go to Cheval Blanc. Cannot wait to see that. There are quite a lot of options for the pilots now, so it's really interesting because there are a lot of cumuluses. They're quite high, so they can all have a great thermal, and then it's only about which ridges are they gonna use for the day. One thing that is really nice when you fly in the Alps, and especially in Saint-Auban, is that when you know where you're going, and the pilots ask for that today, because usually they have the briefing just 15 minutes before the race. They just know where they're going a few hours before, but not with the weather and so on. But today we gave them some tips and some info about the task. We gave them the task at 3 o'clock approximately, and the wind direction, so they could try to plan which ridge they're gonna use. They knew it would be a bombastic weather tonight as well. So yeah, I think they're gonna really enjoy the race. There are a lot of choices to make, a lot of points to make as well. Tomorrow is the last day, so tonight they need to be very well placed to get ahead and try to keep the podium for the ones above, or try to get closer to the podium and hope for a win tomorrow. Because tomorrow the winner of the day will have a bonus point, so the winner will have 11 points tomorrow, and the second one will have 8 points as usual. So we are back with Josh Meyers. He is going straight to Coupe Mountain. That's a nice ridge that we have in front of us. The wind is gonna blow him and take and give him some lift, some good lift. Nice 2D view now. So we have three groups of gliders: Fox 1, TKM, November X-ray, Mike X-ray, Sierra Lima, Lima, and Vitol Rozak in the end, as well at the end of this group. The bottom group, we're gonna call them. They are approaching Coupe. I think I would have done that. Starting from 1800 meters, I would have gone directly to Coupe, just like them. I think that's the best option. Then they can take the ridges and climb very easily with this wind. Second option, the guy in the middle, that's a Turkish pilot, JJJ, and the Japanese pilot in the middle of the valley. And I think they're going for a straight route to what we call, I'm gonna give you the mountain's name. It is Tête de l'Estrop, of course. I think they're gonna go straight to Tête de l'Estrop, and then they can do Grande Séolane and follow the race and follow the track to turn point 1. Then we have a group who made the choice to go a little bit north to Blayeul. So that's on the track for Donna Pierluigi, 269 and Benfest. We have some of them on La Big. So that's the other group. Victor 1, Mike Yankee Romeo, and Kilo Hotel. So yeah, quite some choices made there. And they are approaching Blayeul now. So that's what we call Crête de Liman. Crête de Liman is the lowest part of Blayeul. And then when they climb here at Crête de Liman, they can join Blayeul. You will see there is a key point between Crête de Liman and Blayeul where it kind of reaches a peak. Just in a few meters, there is kind of we call it cassure, like this in French. Yeah, and it's quite interesting. It's the border between the green trees that you see here and then the rocks, basically. And then when you reach the rocks, it's really good in real life and also in Condor. So Benfest is one of the leaders of this first virtual SGP after 5 competition days, and Donapierre is on the 4th position, just after the podium, basically. So yeah, maybe strategies to stay with Ben and try to get him at the end of the flight so he can get 2 more points than him. That can be a strategy for Donapierre. We have Christian from Chile flying on the Ventus 3. He went to La Big North. That's interesting to see really the differences, the different choices that the pilot made. I'm just trying to check, guys, if there are some questions coming. Please ask your questions and we will try to answer them. Maybe we can have the inside view from Arne Martin. Guttler. Yeah, thanks a lot, team. That's a nice view that we have. In his Ventus 3. With JJJ right now. So they went for route direct to Tête de l'Estrop. That's interesting, and they are looking for this first cumulus in front of them. Hopefully for them it will work because they will not have a lot of solutions. And yeah, as you can see, they are not very well placed. I think that's the worst choice to make. Yeah, and now I think Arne Martin is wondering if it was a good choice because on his right, the guys are much higher, and on the left, the guys are much higher as well than him. So yeah, I think he's really wondering if it was the good choice to make. Probably not. For the guys in the middle. So Arne Martin and JJJ. Yeah, and we're 269 and Benfest now at Blayeul, and 269 is braking on the right. So I think it's climbed enough to brake and to join Le Parcours right now. I cannot wait to see that. Yeah, all the gliders are now braking to the right. I think it's maybe a little bit too early, but I'm not sure. They are just in the middle of Blayeul. So now if they brake, yeah, they're gonna go to Carton or Danjuan, but yeah, Danjuan can be a good thing, but I think they're not too high enough to do it. I can see now Benfest at 1,500 meters. Yes, that's not enough. Really not enough. He must climb much higher. Maybe it was not working enough on Blayeul, but I'm quite surprised they did that choice. I would have climbed all the way up if I had chosen to go to Blayeul. And then after Blayeul, I would have go 90 degrees to the right to go to Tête de l'Estrop, Trois Évêchés, Grande Séolane. So yeah, that's surprising in my opinion. We have the pilot from Switzerland, Davide Giovanelli, with us now in the GS3, playing quite fast, just behind and below Benfest and 269. I think they are going to Lubac, the Seine now. That's the mountain at just in front of them now, a bit higher. So Lubac the Seine is at 2,000 meters. The peak is at 2,000 meters. Yeah, so you can still ask your question, please, guys, for Brian, if you have some. He's joining in more or less 10 minutes, a bit less, probably. Now back with JJJ, 1,400 meters. in his Ventus-3. So Jeroen is leading as well the competition with Benfest and is not in trouble, but it doesn't hold the best place right now, while Benfest and Donna Pierluigi are climbing in a good turmoil in the background, I think. It looks promising for them. And now Jeroen is trying to climb a little bit. Small point on the overall results. Thanks, team. We have so Jeroen, Jenen, and Benfest leading the race, the competition with 45 points together. Then Witold Rozak 32 points on the podium. Donna Pierluigi with 30 points. Anne Martin Guttler from Norway with 25 points. Mikko Nurminen with 13 points. Ali Koroglu with 10 points. Same number for Tim Madsen from Denmark, and Gorka Edwayon is completing the top 10 with 9 points. There are 4 pilots who need to score a point before the end of the week. A little bit of water tonight because I'm gonna drink and gonna speak a lot, I think. So we're gonna have Brian Sprekley coming in a few minutes, followed by Benjamin Neglet, as well from the French team pilot, and is also involved a lot in the SGP events. So if you have any question or if you just want to ask anything, just do so. Please try to do it maybe on YouTube. It's much easier for me to get all the comments. I think they're kind of erasing themselves on Twitch if I'm not connected to Twitch every time. So at 100%, I mean. So yeah, ask your question, please. And Brian is on the way to join us. So good start from some pilots. I can see a very strong lift now for Arne Martin. Yeah, really strong lift. I hope Jeroen has taken the same lift because it looks really strong right now. Yeah, 4 meters per second. Thanks a lot, team. Really strong one. Really strong one. He kind of struggled. We can see that on the GPS to find the good spots for this lift, but now he's in there. 4 meters per second. Really quite a nice lift. Really good to see. And we have Benfest at the top of this thermal, and Jeroen Jenen is just went through all of this and is gonna arrive to Tête de l'Estrop now and is gonna try to climb just next to this mountain. We can see in the background Fox 1 and TKM. They climbed quite well after Coupe, while between Coupe and Cheval Blanc, they climbed well. And now they're quite high at 2,600 meters. I think November X-Way is the leading pilot now. He's really well placed on the parcours, and it's going to be very easy for him, for Tim Kuipers, the pilot from the Netherlands, to reach Tête de l'Estrop, Trois-Évêchés, and Grand Seolan, and to go into the Ubaye Valley. So that's Barcelona Valley. And now Brian is joining us. You have your headset here, Brian. Yeah. Welcome.
Hi, Antoine. Hi, everybody.
You are on camera as well.
Okay, I must first get my change glasses so I can see what's happening.
You have some here as well.
Okay,
yeah, great. Oh, Victor 1 is in trouble right now.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. Well, the start was great. A lot of choices, different choices made by the pilots. So it's quite good to see, honestly.
And we use this microphone, yeah? So, Antoine, do most of the pilots know the region, or it's an adventure for them?
No, it's really an adventure for them now. They don't all know the area, but I think that they are flying on the Serie that is the most downloaded on Condor. There are a lot of flights being made there, and they used to fly here on Condor on this Serie. So they I think they know the area there they are here, but they don't know the Écrin very well. Where we're gonna go later. So higher mountains, up to 4,000 meters in the Écrin. So that's going to be quite interesting for them, I think, too.
Actually, not that many people know the Écrin really well, because it's not very often you have the altitude to get it up there. 4,000 meters, it's pretty tricky. Most people take the Briançon Valley, called Libya, and then they come home. But it's so exciting up there with the glacier. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think tonight we're gonna have really nice footage in those mountains, and we try to make the weather easy for the pilots. I think in the equine it's gonna be 4,500 maximum for the cumulus, but we have a nice dynamic lift as well. So I think it's gonna be quite okay for the pilots. They are reaching now Tête de l'Estrop, and they will probably go to Grand Seolan afterwards to go in the Obai Valley.
And who is leading now?
So there are three groups basically right now. One group went to Coupe, then to take Cheval Blanc and the parcours. Yeah, thanks a lot, Tim, for the 2D view.
Long way around.
Yeah, long way around. Another one, two or three of them went straight to Tête de l'Estrop to try to get something there. And another group, they went to Crête du Liman and Blayeul. And now they're joining the parcours, and they will probably try to go to Grand Seolan before, just going.
Blayeul across to Lubac, Toisevèche, and then into the Barcelonnette Valley, Tête de Gendarme, and the Col de Vasse to come out this. And the first turning point is in Queyras. It's near the Chateau Queyras.
So the first turning point is Col Daniel. So that's just next to the Italian border, actually. So it's going to be quite far. Yeah, you can see it now, quite far from Saint-Auban. Then they are going to Tête. That's les Écrins. That's the highest peak of the Écrins. And then they're going to go to Pas de la Cavale. Pas de la Cavale, then down to Logis du Pin.
The eastern turning point is in the national park. So not many glider pilots fly there now. So you guys have a big advantage. You can fly where we can't fly. And that's I flew here many years ago, and I've been flying here for years when there was no national park, and so you didn't have to care about this. And the valley of the Queyras is beautiful. You could fly to the end. There's no national park, through the Vanois, over Courchevel and these areas. But now, of course, it's more restricted and more difficult.
Yeah.
And these are the leading group that are coming onto the parkour now.
Yeah, so that's one of the group on the parkour. That's another group with Fox One. I think it's already on the other side of Coupe. That's a weird choice, to be honest. I think that's what he has, or maybe he's already in the Obai Valley. Yeah, I think he's crossed from Grand Seolan to the Obai Valley. Yeah, that's the entry of it. Yeah.
So you know the area very well. You know the names of all these places. You've flown here a lot.
Yeah, well, I've started flying in Saint-Auban almost 10 years ago, in 2012. So yeah, next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary. I was joking with Eric Napoleon about it because it reminds us, when I arrived, I was 17, 18 here. So yeah, I learned a lot with Eric and with all the guys involved, Benjamin as well, and so on. So yeah, it's big memories. And yeah, 10 years is, I think, a big, nice achievement. It's cool. I was lucky.
Is Eric one of your heroes? He's one of your
Yeah.
heroes. He's been around a long time, yeah?
Yeah. He's an example for everyone involved here.
Do you think many of the guys flying virtual gliders have heard of Eric before? No, he's a French phenomenon. Yeah. Eric and I flew world championships here in Saint-Auban, and dear me, it's 1992 or 93 or 95 or something, long time ago. And Roland Stuck was the director of the competition. He's here now. He's watching this race downstairs as we speak.
Yeah, that's really fun indeed. And when did you win the Worlds?
It's 87, a long time ago.
87, yeah. And I think for Eric it was like 95 in Oklahoma or something like this, and another one just before. In 50 meters, the two of us.
In Sweden, in Borlänge. I was third in Borlänge in the open class, having a great time playing with my wife in Ash 25. Really annoying all the guys in their very super smart ASW 22 BLs, and we were flying our club Ash 25. It was great. But this area is so fantastic to fly in. It's just so built for gliding. It's just an amphitheater for gliding sport. And anybody who's ever flown here has fantastic memories of the fun you can have in Saint-Aubin. And what we're seeing with what you're doing now is really exciting for the thousands of people who will never have the opportunity to do this for real. But it's like that you can live this. And I'm very impressed by the imagery and the gliding. It looks so realistic when they're flying.
Yeah, indeed. I think that's the main point that we like with Condor and the esports. It's that everyone around the world can try gliding, see what it's like, and fly in very different areas. And for example, René Vidal, who is flying the real Sailplane Grand Prix, is trained on Condor with Christian, who is flying this virtual Grand Prix, and they train together on Condor to just learn the area of the Alps and of Saint-Aubin. So that can be really a tool for the pilots in both real and virtual. And yes, they are very lucky to be able to do that. We have an inside cockpit view as well, because we have some pilots involved tonight in the competition who are live streaming their flights as well. So we can take their feed and put it in our streaming. So that's really cool. You can see what they are doing and what they are trying to do actually.
So drawing some comparison between flying in real glider and doing it real time and doing it virtually. If you when you fly real time like this, the piloting skill, flying the glider really accurately, is really important. Is it the same in virtual flying? You really need to fly very accurately in the glider.
Yeah, you need to be very accurate, and some of them, to be even more accurate, they have force feedback joysticks, so they know what's going to be the feeling of the glider, and they know when it's going to stall. So it's really important for them to get some feedback and to know what's happening. And in the game, I think that's one of the main point of Condor, is that it's the only simulator that is able to recreate the physics of gliding. So yeah, that's very important. And a lot of pilots involved, they already have a nice experience in real flight. We have Tim Kuipers here. He is just right here. Yeah, and he's in the leaders tonight, Tim.
Yeah, well, Tim's a pretty good glider pilot as well. And I know Tim's mum very well. She's part of the IGC Bureau, part of the organization that helps to organize competitions and things. But Tim hasn't been flying much earlier in the week. I noticed he was a DNF for some days.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he has to work, or because he just didn't like the task, maybe?
No, that's because he had to work, unfortunately. So he was replaced by other pilots from the Netherlands, but we decided not to score them because it's more or less unfair for the guys who are there every evening. And if the guys won the days, it would have been problematic, I think, for the competition.
So we're following. Where's he from?
So Josh is coming from the US, flying the GS3. He won the third competition day. He's flying really well during throughout the competition. He's made an absolute amazing job, but he has outlanded once or twice even now, because he's pushing quite a lot, quite a lot.
I noticed when I was watching the other day that there seems to be a tendency with the virtual racing to fly a little too fast. They're flying at speeds which I wouldn't recognize as being sensible speeds. And sometimes gliding is not just a question of how fast you fly, but how fast you climb. And you need to arrive at the good climb. So sometimes you just have to throttle back a little bit to make sure you can reach the spot where you can climb well. And I see he's flying quite a sensible speed now, 193 kilometers an hour. I was watching with speeds of 220, 210. That's pretty marginal, really. That's final glide fat energy stuff. It's not for en route.
Yeah, and tonight they're going to fly even at a higher speed than usual, because we made really a bombastic weather for them to enjoy really the day. They are used to have only 1.5, maximum 2.5 meters per second every evening, because that's the only solution for us to keep it real and to lower the average speed of each pilot. We cannot have 3 meters. So tonight they're going to have some 3-5 meters per second on the ridges and so on. It's going to be really amazing. That's the total value that we have. It's not compensated. So that's why we can see very high values, because they're pushing on. Yeah.
Enjoy. 6 meters a second. Yeah, really. Suck it up, boys, because it's not like that every day.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we said when the race started. They are lucky because we have this type of weather in Saint-Auban a few times a year, but definitely not every day.
Yeah, but even on an ordinary day, you get the occasional thermal that's strong, but not so often. The other question I had is climbing, because it seems to me when I'm flying, I've been flying gliders all my life, and when I come into the thermal, I need to feel it. I really need to feel what's happening. The vario tells you, okay, it's a little bit of history. It tells you what's happened. But when you come into the thermal, you feel the thermal, you roll in and you pull back and you draw the speed back. And if it's good, you pull it back hard. If it's not, you're really gentle. I can't see how you can feel the same because it must be quite difficult to find the center of the thermal when there's no.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. So in Condor, it's a bit simpler with the thermal. They don't like a potato. Don't really. They much more look like a big circle, just like this. So it's much easier for the pilots, and they have nice GPS, just like CU. I think that says that. Well, you can see your flight track, and you can more or less adjust that to climb better. So yeah, we're back with Tim Kuipers. So yeah, junior world champion in 2001, I think, Tim.
I
So-
know Tim, and it's to wish him well. Where is he now? Is he approaching the first turning point?
So now he's just past the Ubay Valley. That's Barcelonette on the right, and he's just next to Grand Bérard.
The Col de Vas? He will
Oh, yeah.
cross over the col at the end.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna follow the
The
Grand
Chapeau de
Bérard.
Gendarme in the background.
No, it was
Yes,
just
he's already past
before.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going quite fast, I think. I
they
don't know
are.
the average speed, but yeah, as you can see, he's flying fast to 240 kph between the thermals now.
Yeah. He
That's what we promised.
He was world champion in the club class. He never saw 240 kph when he flew in the club class, I can tell you. Well, good. It's very exciting, the thought of being able to fly along the hills like in a good day like this. And it must be quite difficult to change gear. When you put the weather scenario into Condor, can you put it in so it changes? So the first part of the flight's really difficult, the second part flight's really good, or is it just homogeneous? It's going to be the same for the whole flight.
No, it's gonna be the same. That's the big problem that we have yet with Condor for the esport, because in real life it's really important to be able to anticipate the weather and so on. But it's gonna change with version 3. We were with Chris from Condor team yesterday on the live, and they announced Condor version 3 coming up. The biggest news is that there is a huge weather improvement, and we'll be able to choose on this area we're going to have thunderstorm, this area rain, this area very good weather, and so on. So that's going to be a big step forward in the Condor game, I think.
You when you're flying at the moment, you can rely upon the conditions being fairly consistent, and you can say, well, most of the thermals I take will be 4 meters or more, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it needs to be changed.
We dream about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, no, I think we don't dream about this because that's what we like as well in real life, to be able to.
But
Yeah.
And we're still with Tim, and he's still running. So can we look at where he is now?
Yeah. So Tim
It's quite a
is.
split. People have spread out quite a lot here.
Yeah, we are. So Tim is just right here near Grand Parpaillon, and I think he's taking the best route. Then he should go over Col de Vars to join the other mountains there. Some of us are already next to Josier, past Josier to go to that peak.
I can't imagine how complicated the modeling must be for the meteor to put into here, because I have no idea what would happen on the mountains to the south of the Col de Var, because I've never been there. But you go over the Col, you turn right, you got the Valley of the KRS. It's very fast when it's good. And how could you imagine what would happen if you didn't take that route? I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see if people take it and it works out well.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the point with Condor, you can try whatever you want from home,
yeah.
and then maybe one day you can try in real life if it can
Yeah,
work.
you just hope that when you try it in real life, the weather's as good as Condor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can imagine.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, shall we ask you questions about, well, first of all, your feeling about this week with the real Grand Prix? How did it go so far?
It's been really good. We've had a really good time. We've had some mix of weather. We've had some really good conditions and some quite difficult conditions. We've had flights into the mountains and into the plain and the plateau to the south. So a good mix. And it's been very interesting. We've seen quite a change in the results every day. But of course, the top two pilots have come to the really a big lead at the top with Mario and Sebastian. And they've done that by flying very consistently. And beneath that, we're seeing quite big changes. So we're quite excited by it. We've been quite enjoying it. We've had really good publicity from it and really good coverage. And we're hoping that tomorrow we can have a really exciting race there, because there's only 1 point. 1 point between Mario Kiesling from Germany and Sebastian Carver from Poland. And it means that all Mario has to do is beat Sebastian by 1 point. And I haven't worked it out, but I think there's a chance that if they have the same points, the winner depends on the person who's had the highest number of places. Mario has won 3 days, so I suspect it will go to him. So it'll be quite an exciting race. They don't need to win. They don't need to come first and second, but they do. Sebastian needs to be sure to beat Mario tomorrow to be the winner. If Mario can even draw, if Mario can beat Sebastian by 1 point, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a very exciting race tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And there is not a huge gap, but quite a big gap between the second and third place, right?
That's right. The third place is Maximilian Seiss from France. And it's not likely that Max can catch. He's too many points behind. But in the next, I think 6 places is only 8 points. So we have 2 races tomorrow. We have a race for first, second place, and we have another race for third and fourth place. That should be quite interesting to watch, because Catherine is only, I think, 6 points behind Maximilian. She will want to take that place. She won't be hanging back. She'll be pushing hard. Max will have to push for his place. And behind them, all the people waiting to eat it up. Yeah, they're going, come on, you guys, you make a mistake fighting each other and we'll go past you. So tactically, it's quite an interesting race tomorrow. And we expect good weather. So we expect to fly a good race, 300 kilometers or something like that. And that gives us the opportunity to see many opportunities for people to break away, for people to change. Because in the regular gliding, in regular Grand Prix flying, there's always places where you can do something that makes a big difference, because the weather changes a little bit, the wind changes a little bit, and you just find the spot and you can gain 5-6 kilometers. Problem is, can you keep it? And so we have a lot of fun watching where these spots are and where people get ahead, and also then can they maintain that lead? Mario is really good at pushing on and making his own decisions and pushing out ahead. And Sebastian is really good tactically. So it's 2 quite different sort of techniques, 2 quite different sort of pilots to watch tomorrow. So we hope all you guys will be coming to watch it tomorrow, because we're really excited. And then we'll come and see how you get on tomorrow night and see who's going to win. Because I see that in the virtual, you have the top 2 places of the same points.
Yeah, and more or less everyone in top 5 can still win the competition. Yeah. It's the first 2 have 35 points, and that's 32 points for the third one. Donapierre, the Frenchman, with 30 points, and then I think that's 28 or 26. So they're all really close to each other. So they can still win with 11 points for the first one. Just imagine. That's a big gap between the first one and the second one.
So a lot depends on what happens tonight as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said when we started the live, is that there's not a lot of margin, and tomorrow is going to be very important. But tonight you have an opportunity to take the lead already. So
who's in the lead now? Who's out in front now?
I think it's Josh Meyers from the US who is leading the race. Yeah, we have him here, and yeah, he's well placed. But I think the best choices from the beginning were from Mikko Nurminen, is the pilot from Finland here, and you can look at him in red, and he went straight to Coupe.
Yep.
Cheval Blanc, he followed all the ridges.
Yeah.
Then Grand Séolan, he crossed to Grand Bérard very easily, and he went to all the good ridges, and now he's on the good spot as well.
And he's on the right side of the valley. And what is the wind model here? You have a little south wind or southwesterly? North wind.
That's north wind, and that's the top of the mountain just right here.
So he's going to get the benefit from the sun on the south side and the dynamic lift and a little bit of wind from the north side. And the altitude? His altitude is...
November X-ray, he is at 3,200 meters now. So that's quite good.
He's fat. He's good there, and he should be able to run quite fast along there.
And Fox One is nearly at 4,000 meters now. So he's quite high. That's what we expected in that part of that area of the task, actually 4,000, and then we 4,500 in the écran to make it easy for the pilots, because as you can see, some of them already struggle. Croatian pilots here, pilots from Hungary as well, the Brazilian pilots, and yeah.
Well,
not easy.
It's really tough. If you don't have much experience in this area and you just take the wrong route, it can be really tough. And it is a big advantage to understanding planning. Do they get the task much in advance of the start, or?
Yeah. So today, especially, they asked to have really the task early, so they could try to plan which ridges they would have to use. So you can see the difference as well. Well, when you come from flatlands, you don't especially plan your task, but in the Alps, it's really important to know where you're going, because there's more or less only one way. That's the fastest one, and it's often, the nice ridges today that we have.
So what do they get, 20 minutes, an hour?
Oh, no, they got almost 3 hours to prepare the flight.
That's
so
good. Yeah,
that's
plenty of time to think it through.
Yeah.
And we see there are two groups, one either side of the valley, approaching the eastern turning point, but they both have the advantage of having south slope and north wind. And so they're running pretty much together. As long as you can stay above the top, it's an advantage. As soon as you start to sink below the top, it becomes more difficult. And it's impossible to know which side is going to work better unless you can see the wind in the cloud or something, and you can see what's happening. You're not really sure whether you should be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. Hi, Ben. Come to drink my wine, huh? The great thing I like about this virtual sailplane racing is you can have a drink while you're doing it. It's wonderful.
That's true. That's true. And we are approaching top point one now with the Polish man, Witold Rozak. So Witold is currently holding the third place on the overall results with 32 points. So yeah, he's leading the race now.
I'm going to ask Benj to sit here because he knows this area really well, and he'll be really useful at deciding what the right way is into the top turning point. You're now reaching the extent of my range of knowledge of the mountains, because we never really flew in this area very much. And Benj, you're going to come and talk a little bit about what happens next. Benjamin and I have been commentating in the live Sailplane Grand Prix, and we've been having a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun because it's a really good sport. It's a fantastic sport, but it's fun. It's fun to fly gliders, and it's fun to race. It's not serious. It's not like, we're Ronaldo being paid millions of pounds, so everybody should be enjoying themselves. Is this the turning point coming up?
Yeah, that's called Daniel. Already.
He's quick. He's really quick. Yeah. There's scorchy wings here. He'll be burning them off. How fast is he going now?
I think it's 220, but after turn point we'll see it. We keep that sponsorship.
What about wing loading? They can fly at any wing loading they like.
48 kilograms.
Everybody flies at 48.
Keep the SGP rules, and they are checked. Like, we have the files, and we can check that.
So there's Witold, and he's flying Ventus 318.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Thilo might have a little discussion with this, that he says if you fly much more than 200, you fall out of the laminar bubble, and 200 is a really good speed to cruise. More than that, it's not so good for the performance. But of course, that depends on the polar that they put into Condor.
Yeah. And we are with Josh Mayer. So he's more or less the leader. He's quite high, 3,800 meters. So that's really good.
You know, we really miss the American pilots here because it's very difficult for them to compete in Grand Prix in the USA, in the real gliders, because the distances are so great. You put a competition on the east side of America and it's 3,000 miles. It's, you know, what, 4.5, 5,000 kilometers. It's 2 days to drive there. You put the competition on the west side, all the East Coast pilots have that problem. It's really difficult for them. And I don't know what the solution is, but we know that there are a lot of pilots in the USA who would love to fly Grand Prix real gliding. So maybe if USA get a good result here, it will encourage people to think more about the real Grand Prix. Even in their national championships in regular sport, they have a big problem getting enough competitors to travel the distances that they need to fly in the competition. So, Benj, you're going to come and fill in the holes? Come on there. Yeah. Well,
thanks, Brian.
Antoine, I tell you, everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody competing, Antoine is doing a fantastic job. We're so pleased that Antoine volunteered to do this, and all the team for the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix. You're just great guys, and the amount of work you're doing, the amount of effort you're putting in, it's difficult for anybody to imagine, and I really hope that we can carry on doing it. I really hope that we can keep this together. So well done, Antoine. We're very proud of what you guys are doing, and I'll pass you on to Benj now.
Thanks. See you, Brian. So yeah, Benj is gonna come and join us right now. We have just reached turn point 1 with Fox 1 from the US leading. Then we have Vitold and TKM, Mikko Nurminen as well joining in. So we have the 2D view here, Benj, with the altitudes on the right of the screen. 3,700 meters for the leader, Fox 1, who just turned point 1. Col Daniel. Then we are going straight to Les Écrins. So the highest peak of the Écrins at 4,000 meters. Then Col des Terres Blanches or Col de Pas de la Cavale. Then down we go to Logis du Pin. So that's gonna be the parcours for everyone. And then back to Saint-Ouen.
Yeah. Okay. So you have any idea about the average speed for the first turn point? It was really fast now.
Yeah, I think it was really fast. I'm gonna ask Tim if he has some info. It was 155 kph. It was 15 minutes ago, so I'm gonna tell you that in a few seconds when Tim can give us this.
155.
155. Okay, great.
Huge,
thanks, Tim.
Huge. Weather condition, what are they today?
It was really good. It was bombastic. We created this task to have quite a dynamic task and to be able to fly longer and to go in the Écrins, in the highest mountains, to have some nice footage from the race. I was expecting a little bit more speed for the average, but we'll see at the end. I think it's gonna be even better later. So thermals between 2.5 and 5 meters per second, probably a lot of 4 meters per second for the pilots. Wind from the northwest for 25 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be really good, very good lift and so on. We made the ceiling at around 3,400 in Saint-Aubin, 4,000 here, and it's going to be 4,500 in the Écrins for the pilots to be able to reach Col Daniel, because it's quite difficult between Barcelonnette and Col Daniel.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
So it's a combination of good thermals and good dynamic, so you can go really fast.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, good, great. That's fun. Yeah, following the e-sport was all about the question about, is it the same? No, it's not the same at all. It's different game, different sport, but it's really fun because you can follow it and you can learn a lot about the area and still make you. I really want to ask Jeroen Jenen from Belgium, because he's a real glider pilot. And also, he's really good because I think he's the leader for now.
Yeah, he's one of the best glider pilot in Condor, really in the world, and he has proved that for quite some years. And he's quite young. He started Condor from the very beginning as well. So yeah, it's very impressive when you see pilots who are good in real and virtual like this. We have Tim Kuipers as well. He was junior world champion in 2001, European champion as well. So yeah, it's great to see them here joining the race.
So now they made the turn point 1 and they are heading to the west to Écrin.
Yeah, that's correct. Écrin and then Colpas de la Cavale. So yeah, turn point 2.
Fox 1 is leading, correct?
Yeah, Fox 1 is leading, and then we have Vitold and TKM. That's Tim Madsen from Denmark behind him.
So when I was commenting the e-sport during the winter, I noticed that a lot of time the e-sport you can push and push and push and use a lot of dynamic compared to real life, and so it will be really difficult for the guys to keep up with Fox 1 because he has an advantage now, and he needs to make a mistake. And what kind of mistake you can do in this kind of e-sport gliding?
Well, it's more about you have, well, today the area is difficult, so I think the mistakes will be like geographical mistake. You make the wrong choices and then you're stuck because there is really a big mountain in front of you, and you need to go over it, and you didn't make the right choice because you didn't prepare very well your task or something like this. So I think it's going to be this type of mistake, because today we have really strong thermals, we have good lift from the ridges, so it shouldn't be a problem to finish this task or to go through. But we already had some pilots stuck behind because they didn't pass the parcours.
Oh.
So they were kind of stuck because they didn't find a thermal quickly compared to the other guys. So they're already running late on the leaders.
So balance the mixture between okay, I can fly super low because of the dynamic, and then I need to connect with the thermals. Is still the same game as the real.
Yeah, but the thing is that, as Brian said, they are pushing a little bit too hard.
A lot,
really,
yeah.
A lot.
Time, yeah, it's a problem.
They push until the end, and there is a tendency to do that, and often they would have much more possibilities to fly just a little bit at a lower speed, and they will have much more choices when things go wrong. And often when it goes wrong, they all outland because they have no solution anymore. They went for discriminants, it's not working, it's done. There's no plan A, B, C often on that. Yeah.
And one of the limitation of this current Condor is about the weather is really the same all around the task.
Yeah, that's what he said. Basically, that's why you can set a cloud base, a ceiling, but and then it's gonna be adapted to the mountains.
Okay.
So that's still quite good. It's not homogeneous like this.
But the wind.
The wind is going to be more or less the same. You can change a little bit the variation. It's going to stay more or less the same. But then with version 3 of Condor that they announced yesterday, it's going to be completely different. That's a huge step forward that they've made, apparently. Some guys already saw some footage from it. Apparently, it's really something amazing. I hope we will see some footage soon. I hope it's going to come out soon as well. We don't have any date yet for the game. But yeah, apparently we'll be able to decide that we'll have some rain here, thunderstorm here, a good area here. So yeah, some convergence probably. So yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
Okay. So let's go back to the race now. Can we have a general view just to check where Fox 1 is? And okay, so they made close to the Viso for the first turn point, and they're going west to the Valley of Saint-Crepin through Keras. And Fox 1 is on the east part of the Valley of Saint-Crepin, the Durance Valley. And we will need to connect to the northwest to where the glacier is. What do you think? What is the best way? Fox 1 altitude is currently 3,600, so it's quite high.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the best path to go to this turn point now?
Yeah, I think I would still try to take a thermal before reaching the valley of Briançon, and to make a step to go to the Écrin. There, I think I would take some ridges and another thermal, and then once I'm here, I get the ridges there, and I get stuck on the
You are missing the magic pen. You are missing with magic pen to show the guys where to go.
I'm just showing on the screen, guys, but
Yeah.
we don't have the
Sorry.
pen to show you that.
But if you go to Fox One and to the northwest, you could see that there is one slope which is a bit east of the west part of the big slopes of Saint-Crépin. It's I think it's Tête d'Amont.
Yeah.
So Amont head in French, and this perhaps will be the next step they want to go. On this screen, Tête d'Amont must be a bit right of Fox One. Yes, this big rock on the road. Now it's directly on Fox One, the big rock, and then connected to the cumulus you can see on the top of the screen. But 3,600. The next turn point altitude would be interesting. What is the altitude of the next turn point?
It's quite high actually, and they have to be high to turn it. Otherwise, they cannot do it. So they will need to climb before reaching the turn point. I think it's going to be 3,700 or 3,800 there. Yeah.
And then we need to think about the next turn point, which is quite south. So they will need to be super high to be able to not make a all around and take a bit of time and lose time to make this next turn point. And I think the next turn point is really difficult because it's also super high.
Yeah, so basically they should follow the Voie Royale to go down the écran like this. That's the plan for them.
They need to have oxygen in the gliders.
That would be nice. I think they need it now.
They have beers sometimes.
Yeah, I think they have beers. Yeah, you've seen the simulator ring. That the
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. That the winner will win. So we'll see who's going to win that. But you can place your beer on the side, and I think that's really convenient to the virtual races that you can do for fun or the esports one. Yeah.
Is it possible to have a check on the pilots who made a mistake, perhaps, and they fell down from the? Okay, we have two Tango Uniform Romeo. I think he was not so bad on the overall score.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was on a 6th or 7th position overall, so that was quite good. He started gliding online a year ago only.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's never flown glider. He's going to try to do that soon. It was not possible to do that in Turkey yet, but probably next year he's going to be able to do that. Yeah, so yeah, it's amazing to see that guy. He's done the FFVP Sports Series as well.
Okay.
In March, and yeah, he said he learned a lot. He bought some books about gliding to just learn by himself how to fly, and yeah, he's flying really good. Yeah, not surprising to see him here right now because really high mountains, and I think he's not used to it at all.
Yeah, he never saw this scenery so far away.
Yeah, I think so. I was expecting that. Yesterday it was only flatlands, so it was quite good for flatlands pilots like Mikko Nurminen and so on. They were really they liked the task yesterday. So today is something really different with really high mountains. So yeah, you need to know the area to be able to fly really well.
There is always a question about commitment and engagement you have in this esports compared to real life. We know that the pilots in the real life, at one point you have to think about, okay, oh no, it's a bit risky, not risky for the sport, but risky also for my life. So you have some kind of no, I need to climb and I need to be higher. It's completely different in esport, or how they handle this kind of risk when they have something to get over, a pass. You have to be really tense. Is it difficult, or is it okay? It's just a game and that's it.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of pressure, especially for the leaders and for the one who fly in real life. I think it's really a different mindset for the guys who have never flown in real life. They can still push, and I think they don't really realize what will happen afterwards. I think for the girl flying real as well, they try to stick to the real rules because they don't want to have bad habits once summer is coming and they're flying back again. So yeah, I think that's important as well for FAI, FFVP to try to have realistic competitions to be able to create safety, to keep the safety at a fair level, I would say.
This could be an advantage when you are not a real life pilot, because you don't have this kind of a limitation you put on yourself for this safety.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why for the competition, like more or less everyone has flown a glider or is really a competition pilot in real life as well. So it's really different, this competition, to non-official competitions like the open event and so on. I think they can push much harder on those kind of events. Here it's quite well managed, I think, by the pilots, those safety points. We have safety briefings every day and so on. We say that at the beginning, during practice days, some pilots didn't do the proper landing circuit when out landing. They just landed straight. Some were only glider pilots in the game, not in real life. So we needed to tell them, well, you need to do a circuit landing.
You have some pilots in real life and don't do also, no?
yeah. That's true. That's true. But yeah, we need to tell them that you need to do that or this, and that it was not great to land out like this.
So we will leading back now with Fox 1 on the top of a thermal, followed by Tango Killer Mike, so Tim Madsen from Norway, Denmark.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Whiskey Romeo is from Poland, I think.
Yeah.
And November X-Ray must be from Netherlands.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Netherlands. Yeah. I was mixing with Mike X-Ray from Finland. Yeah.
And they're all on Tête d'Amont. I don't know if we can see. This is the valley of Saint-Crepin. You can see the Grand Valley, and we will see Tête d'Amont just below them on the left here. And it was as expected, and there is a cumulus, and they climb now 2,900, which is super good. But I think we will make a 4,200, something like this, maximum under this cumulus. And this would be really okay. I don't know if we can see to the turn points. Where's the guy who is making the 3D? It's really interesting because we are here commenting, but the guy who is making the 3D, where is he?
Yeah, so he's in the north of France. I went to see them. The guys doing this in the north of France 10 days ago to prepare a little bit the video production and so on. So we need to have a room dedicated to that in a house. So it was great to do, honestly. And yeah, they've done a really good job. And every day trying to improve the live and so on, adding some stuff. Today we have the live camera every time. Yesterday it was only a little bit, just a few times, but yeah, trying to introduce new things every day. And yeah, they're doing really a great job. And it's not easy when you're not on the competition side to do that. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of commitment and dedication to be able to produce a live feed every evening for a week. Just imagine, because for the esports series, it was once every 2 or 3 days. And yeah, you could have a rest day, but just imagine now, it's been already 6 days that they are behind the computers every evening from 7 to midnight. It's just a huge commitment, yeah.
And
to
for
make
free.
it work. And for free,
Volunteers.
yeah. And everyone works for free because they believe that we can develop gliding with this kind of races, and that people like to follow them. Yeah. So yeah.
He has glasses like me. He's a nerd.
I don't think no. I think Timothée, yeah, he's doing a lot of streaming already on Twitch and on YouTube, doing mainly Microsoft Flight Simulator streams and so on. So yeah, he's used to doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, he has been recruited by one of our guys from the FFVP Esports Series who's done that already. So yeah, we have a good team now in the north of France ready to produce live feeds like this.
You are for free. We recruit you. Yeah, we need you.
That's a good plan.
Okay, northwest wind. Northwest wind with this turn point. This will be perhaps tricky, no?
Oh yes, yes. So now they need to anticipate a little bit, yeah.
So I think the guys now they want to keep it really high. They want to be as high as possible to make it around Tête d'Amont. They just left Tête d'Amont and they follow. I don't know if you can have a vertical view from the top. Yeah, if you can focus a bit more on the guys. But yeah, okay. I think they want to focus on. They want to follow the ridges because they want to be as high as possible to make this all around the slopes which are a bit northeast of the next turn points. Because the northwest wind, if you come from the southeast, will be painful.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting to see.
And then you can see from this turn-point to the next one to the south, then you can follow a really nice slope. So with a northwest wind coming from northwest, if you don't make this mistake to be too low, and you can connect to the west slope and the west face of all these slopes, then this would be much more like a super fast ride. Would be interesting to know the average speed when they cross the next turn-point, because they needed to invest a lot of time to be as high as possible in this area before turning the turn-point, and which is normal, very normal with a northwest wind. 25 k's, even super high, it was same speed.
At 5,000, it's 40 kph, I think.
Okay.
I think.
So it must be 35, 30 kilometers per hour now for them. So we have to be careful. Yeah, if you are close to the slopes and on the wrong side, also on the east side today, can be a bit tricky, and that's why we can see that the pack is now taking a bit of time together and to control that they can connect as high as possible the next turn point before going to the south.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to gather some energy before getting there, because then either they can turn just the turn point and go behind those mountain here, or they have to make it over the mountain. Like it's not going to be easy.
Complete different life if you can connect to the west of a slope. So you will be on the good side with the wind pushing you, and then you can use all the energy of wind. And if you can't connect, you just turn the turn point, and you have to flee away from the slopes, because you are in the lee with all the sink, the minus, and that's why you can see that they want to make it as high as possible. Fox 1 now left, and he's turning the point, and he will just you can see he will just connect the altitude. So it's really, it can be tricky. And the Vario, you can see bottom left of the screen, the Vario is really minus something. It was -7 few seconds ago. So he's pushing a lot, flying super fast, and he wants to connect to the west side of the slopes to be able then to have a really nice ride. Yeah, he's pulling now, and just over, he will turn left as expected. So this is what Antoine was calling the Voie Royale, so the royal street, something like this. And because you are on the highest part of the écrin, and it's really difficult to make it in real life today, because we have a lot of limitations with national park. But in using the simulator, you can do that, and it's really nice. So Fox 1 made the turn point, okay, and Witold Rotzak from Poland is making the same thing now. So we have a leading pack, and I think Alpha Mike is just behind, and our friend from Netherlands also must be not so far away, which is really nice scenery. A bit tricky. Pilots have to make some S shade.
Team is pulling a lot right now already. I think maybe yes, something, but I wouldn't have tried here. I think I would have go on the other side and then try to find something else. Yeah, it's surprising from him.
But again, he's a real pilot also in real life. So sometimes you want to get a bit more just to be sure. And the other pilots who never made it in real, okay, keep going. It's okay. It's enough.
So Tim is choosing a direct route now, but he should really try to get on the good side of the ridges. I'm quite surprised. Maybe it's gonna block here because there is a cumulus just above him, and maybe that's not too bad.
Yeah, so he will go to the right now, and he will connect through this hole on the right side of the screen.
Yeah,
okay.
Not a bad choice in the end, maybe. Yeah, interesting. It's nice to have those footage, because in the real SGP they didn't go yet in the écran, so we don't have those nice pictures. Yeah, it would be difficult because with 2 hours and 30 minutes, it's too difficult. We will need to have a task.
You can fly all night long. It's okay for you, but we can't. It's a bit too long.
Yeah, exactly. It's too long, and if the pilot gets stuck in real life, then the flight will take 5 hours. So yeah, it cannot be possible to have this right now in Saint-Auban.
Yeah, in the design also we have to be as fair as possible, and a lot of pilots from the Grand Prix, they don't know at all this area of Les Écrins. As soon as you hit the high rocks like Les Écrins, it's a completely different world, and it would be a different story and not so fair for half of the pack. So we want to keep it on the surface part of the Alps because it's low compared to these mountains, low mountains, and you don't have this kind of I can be stuck for 1 hour here if I made a big mistake. But in the lower part of the Alps, it's just a question of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you high again, and it's a new start. So, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So what about the pilots on the back of this leading group? So Donapierre is just joining. Okay, he's just behind the leading pack. You can see 269 on the northwest, on the top left of the screen. Sorry. So on Tête d'Amont and turning really soon on the turn points. And Alpha Mike made some mistakes somewhere because he's just crossing the valley of the Durance north of Saint-Crepin.
Yeah, I think now the gap are going to increase between the pilots because they're going to go down very fast on the Royal, and then they're going to cross easily the lake of Serponçon and join the parcours. So it's going to go very fast for those guys. Now they need to really reach that turn point 2 quite quickly, as fast as they can.
So Fox 1 is not the leader of the overall score, but
no,
he's really close.
Yeah, he's really close. I think he's on the 5th position or something else.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now. We have the results here, and with the total.
Yeah, 6. Okay.
Yeah, 6.
So 19 points, and he can go to 29 if he wins today. So it will be not enough to make the leader. But Jeroen Yellen and Benfest and Vitok, okay, they are all close together, and Donapierre all in 5 points. Yeah, okay. So for now, Alpha Mike would be in a difficult position compared to the others in this overall score, but we will see if something happens. One of the points is about the southeast part of this task you made. It's completely different. It's much more low mountains, and their orientation is east to west. So the northwest wind will still be okay, but it's completely different.
Yeah, definitely. That was something that we were looking for in this task. When we tried to plan this 2 days ago, we knew there would be probably a day off coming up in Saint-Auban. So we're like, yeah, maybe we should try to do something bombastic. Requirements, bombastic. Just try to see the écrin, to have something different, and to offer nice views from the mountains, and do an arrival that's not easy. And today is not going to be easy because you're gonna go fast, and in the end you need to be able to think and to say, okay, maybe I must slow down now, because then it's going to be upwind towards Saint-Auban, and so the last leg is going to be very interesting between the leaders in the end. So I cannot wait to see that, actually.
So perhaps a switch from dynamic flights to complete thermal flight at the end, just to be and then to stay high in the best way and find the best way to come back. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. There are not going to be any ridges to help you in the end because they are just aligned with the wind. So the only choice is to have some good thermals, some good lift. And we have Witold Rozak from Poland now leading the race, TKM and November X-Ray just behind.
But Fox 1 is
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Fox 1 is even more ahead now. You're right. So that will make Witold quite close from the top.
Score,
yeah, because Arne Martin is a bit behind. Donapierre, I think, is just behind them, and Benfest as well. So yeah, that's interesting for those guys. And yeah, TKM was a bit behind on the overall results. So maybe he wants to do something good today. Well, you can see Fox 1, indeed, in front of them.
What's from the cockpit of the pilots? You can see also the other position of the pilots to what distance?
Yeah, I think we went for 7 kilometers maximum. Okay. So I think it's with your Helix or your onboard computers in real life, you could see those pilots at 7 kilometers. Sometimes it works a little bit better with if you have a nice antenna, but often you don't see that.
Around 10 Ks.
Yeah. So yeah, we kept 7 kilometers.
And then if you are a bit further, you can see that there is somebody there, but with less information or nothing.
No, it's really difficult on the GPS that they have. Sometimes they can see a little bit further where are the pilots, but yeah, honestly, it's not very easy to see the gliders ahead.
So we are following the Voie Royale to the south, to the next turn point, which is just top left of the screen now. I think Fox 1 made already the turn point. It will be really interesting to see where he goes now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And now he's even reaching the end of Les Écrins, Lake of Sainte-Croix, of Serpenson, sorry, in front of us. Then Morgon and Dormius to join the parcours.
2,400 meters, quite high. We'll be able to connect easily to Morgon. That's why it will be very fast to go to its south point. But then, yeah, everything is still open.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the task is going to be really, really fast today. We knew it when we made it. We're not something really dynamic for us tonight. 350 kilometers, but it's going to take 1 hour and 45 minutes maybe to do it. That was the plan as well.
In the real life, sometimes we have some complaints of the pilots, and because they get some penalties or something is wrong, and they are not okay with rules. You had also some complaints from the e-sport pilot.
Yeah, because we had some struggle with the scoring system at the beginning, but the main problem was that they often have difficulties to manage the energy at the start. So we had to explain them how to start properly the task, because 170 kph as ground speed is not a lot for those guys pushing always at 200 kph. So they are used to push, and they are used to be above the start line. And then at the last moment, they decide to just take just push, and they don't use enough the air brakes because they want to be on the edge at nearly 1,800 meters and at nearly 170 kph. So they got a lot of penalties. And yeah, especially the French pilot, Donapierre, has got a lot of penalties, and he lost 9 points with that. He won the day too, and then he got penalties because he was flying at 190 kph instead of 170. And on that day, on that particular day, everyone arrived in 3 minutes. So he lost all his...
Painful.
Painful for him. Really painful,
So the French team coach Eric Napoleon says always that in Grand Prix you need to avoid any penalty, because the penalties are not in points, because there are no points. There are just 10 points to spare, but the penalties are in time, in seconds. And if there is a gaggle coming back all together for the final glide, it will be just a question of seconds, and then you can go from the top to the bottom. It's just a snap like this. And Donapierre made this on day 2. We were expecting, because it was very funny, because Mario Kisling in the real life Grand Prix was winning day 1, day 2. This was 10 points, 20 points, and Donapierre was day 1 winning. Day 2, we thought he was winning, but at the end, no, he was dropping to overall because of the penalties. But yes, you have to be really careful when you make a start. I know that in real life, I never made personally any Grand Prix. I'm commenting the Grand Prix for a long time now and organizing them, but I've never made any Grand Prix. But I can see how painful it is when you make a mistake on the start, because you don't know from the cockpit. Sometimes you know that you made a mistake, but a lot of times you say, okay, should be okay, altitude, speed, it's okay. And then you make a race with the others, and you try to be the best on the finish. And then, okay, you have a real time, and you get the penalties after a few minutes, because it takes a bit of minutes for the referee to check everything, and you can drop like this from top to bottom. And so please, so even in esports, make a bit of we always say margins. Make a bit of margins. Don't try to be perfect on the start, because the race will not be made on the start. No.
Yeah, there's too much to lose.
Even if you are 20 seconds behind the starters on the lines, it's okay. It's a question of decisions, and but it's a lot of it's very expensive to make some expense on the start. So be careful. So this is quite the same as real life.
Yeah, indeed, for the penalties. We're sticking to the SGP rules basically. So it's not easy for everyone. We had complaints as well about the about the wing loading, but it's the same in real Grand Prix as well. They already the gliders who can have more wing loading, they want more wing loading than the others because they know that they're gonna have a better glider at 51 kilograms per meter square, for example. So yeah, they're always trying to
You can
change
choose what you
rules.
want in this sport, so it's really easy. You don't have to buy it. I know it's, or perhaps you have to buy it, but it's really a little expensive. Okay, and we can perhaps make some a bowl with euros if you want, and we can put some coins, and perhaps you can buy the gliders you want. And it's a big it was a big discussion in the real life sport about this wing loading, and if you want to have a best glider today, you want to get a GS1 because it has the biggest wing. So it will be the more heavy gliders compared to the others. So it's really funny because everybody is focusing on 123 and GS3, and the new ACE33 is not in the Condor, I think, today. So it's difficult to fly the ACE33. But if you want to fly the best glider compared to the others, because of the max weight allowed for Grand Prix would be GS1, and I think nobody is flying a GS1. It's really funny.
Yeah, and even in the virtual Grand Prix, there's just one pilot flying a GS1, Thomas Meyer for Hungary, and
Okay.
it's really fun to see that because I know the polars in the game, and I know that GS1 is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And there's only one guy flying a GS1, and yeah, that's fun to see, honestly.
But I think that there was a lot of when we made this winter E-series with a lot of races, then we saw that perhaps some pilots with 123 are a bit better. So we saw that there was two group of pilots now, one with 123, one with GS3, and now you have this kind of discussion we have already in the real life, and it's also in the esports. It's really, really funny.
Yeah, and I think that in the game, GS1 is more or less equal to the 123, and I think at a high speed, GS3 is okay, but at a lower speed, the speed that we had the previous day, GS3 was a little bit below the GS1 and 123, but like slightly, like really nothing. But maybe it made a small difference. But honestly, they are really quite similar, very similar at 48 kilograms per meter square. So now they're on the parkour already.
Yeah, wow, it's really fast. It's like you are. Yeah, everybody's too young to talk about disc with music, but it's all about this 48 and 33, and you can change the speed, and they are very fast now. So it's great. That's good. We travel. We make time travel now with esports. It's such a good day. We make time travel. So who is struggling? If our spy in the sky from really high in the sky can show us who is struggling a bit on the back of this leading pack, just to have information, because it's funny because never the X-ray is using the east part of the parkour, no? East to the east, no?
Yeah, looks like he went for. I don't know why he's done that. Actually, Tim, he went for Chapeau de Gendarme, I think, and then trying to go to Grande Solane, and then take the parcours from Trois-Évêchés.
So I will make my question face. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And then the guys here in the end is making the usual thing, going to.
And we have someone going to Blayeul, I think. That's Tim. I don't know why. Because the turn point is theirs, and it doesn't even need the thermal. It just needs to follow the ridge. So that's.
He's not making a mistake with the yellow thing
No,
on the top.
No, because they don't have this. They just have the turn point. They don't have the yellow. That's just us who can see that.
They have only the next turn point?
Yeah, they can only see the blue turn point.
The goal is there, and there is only one goal.
Yeah. Okay. And he properly flies with GPS team, so yeah, he has one. So yeah.
It's still open race, and not so push and pull, keep going. No, something can happen because there is a bit of choice. But yeah, strange and interesting at the same time. It was also a big discussion we had when we saw the French team today, not today, but yesterday flying, and there was this kind of discussion about stereotypes, because sometimes the pilots, they know too much the terrain and the area, and they think about, oh yeah, it works like this yesterday, so it's the same today, I do the same. But you have to be sometimes a bit more open-minded. And yesterday it was not because of stereotypes for the French team, it was much more, okay, we are a bit lower compared to the pack, we need to do something different and perhaps it will work better, and it was not the case, so I was really sorry for them. But yeah, you can see on the central left part of the screen 3 different choices at the end, because Tango Killer Mike is going to Blyel, Fox 1 is okay riding the parkour and November X-Ray is going east of the parkour and going back to Chapeau de Gendarme, and then going to what we call the little parkour, which is east of a real parkour. And this is interesting in a way. I don't know why they do different. And it will be perhaps if we can go to Fox 1, perhaps, and have a view on what he sees now. What he sees now, sorry. We are really sorry for our English level sometimes. We have some complaints on Facebook, and we try to be okay in English, but we are not perfect. I'm sorry. But anyway, now Fox 1 is in Trois-Évêchés, going to the south, 2,700 meters, pulling super hard, and perhaps thermaling now. The Cheval Blanc is top right of the screen, and it's nice cumulus, so it should be okay. Can we have a view to the east or the west? Just to the east first.
With Witold.
He's going back to the parkour, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just focusing on one pass to go back to the west, so to the good side, so the dark side and good side, good side of the parkour to the west. So he was just he was just aiming to one of his paths to be able. I think he's on the west. I'm not sure. And now to the east. Okay, this is good. Yeah, it's okay. Perhaps we can go with Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. So Wojciech?
Witold Rozak.
Okay, so now okay, it's confirmed that it is now on the west of the parkour, and he's enjoying the ride. Okay, so he was just making a point. Perhaps I saw a lot of time on the E-Glide, but you need to be on the e-sport, but you need to be as straight as possible to make the minimum distance. And so you have to find the best way to be of a minimum distance, and then to get this kind of slopes and to get a lot of energy following them. But you have to minimize the distance, and this can be an advantage. And it's completely different in the real life. We make a lot more detour, right? Because we don't want to be so low, and I think we don't want to take the risk to be in the lee of a parkour, and then you're trapped. You're trapped for minutes, hours sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. So we have Donna Pierluigi as well now, joining the parkour. But I think he's quite behind JJJ, the Belgian man. So yeah.
And you can see Fox 1, I think, is thermaling on the top of the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Really high.
Yeah, so they made good choices here. The guy is leading. Yeah. Maybe it's good as well to have a good camera, yeah. We have Benfest. I think he's behind Donapierre, Benfest right now. So maybe Donapierre can catch some points. But yeah, Witold is still ahead, so Witold will keep the podium for sure, and JJJ as well.
Or they make a big mistake on the southeast part of the task.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to see Josh Meyers climbing now, because maybe it's the last thermal. I think it's going to be difficult with the upwind to Logis Dupin, but yeah, now there's still quite some kilometers to go, but and he's pushing hard. But we have some downwind on this leg, sorry. and we have the last pilots crossing turn point 2 right now in the écran. So yeah, some of them are really in struggle now.
But this was fast for leading back, just crazy. Yeah, crazy
Yeah,
fast.
just the pilots
Yeah.
fly too fast. Yeah.
I remember your flights on the first esports series with some crazy wind on the parkour. It was 200 kph.
Yeah. It was the first test that we've done on Condor to try to make something real, and basically every time we create a task on Condor, we had to reduce half of the speed, and same for the thermals. Otherwise, with the good glides that they make, they easily beat the speeds of the real pilots. Yeah.
It's perfect life.
Yeah, just cut everything in half, and you have more or less the same than in real.
Yeah.
That's what we learned from the competitions. Yeah.
Okay, I will let you enjoy the last part of the task with Antoine. I need to sleep now to prepare for next race for tomorrow.
It's going to be very important tomorrow with the last competition day.
Yeah, it will be very fun because we have two packs. One with the two top pilots, so Mario Kisling and Sebastian Cava, and this is the race. But there is a second race for the third place with a lot of pilots who can reach this place, and so it will be really interesting. And I think it will be also really interesting weather because we have good weather with thermals, but still a bit of northwest wind in one part, I think, of the task. So perhaps some convergence, confluence, which makes more tricky things. And so will be a nice race tomorrow for this final of Serie 10. So
Yeah, I cannot wait to be tomorrow already.
Let's become a new world champion for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Have fun.
Thanks, Ben.
And see you next time in e-race. Ciao.
Thanks, Benj. So back with Witold Rozak from Poland now. He's flying the Ventus tree, and he will score a lot of points tonight, I think. The Polish man increasing his gap with Donapier Luigi, who is on the 4th position tonight. For the guys who don't know, we have Jean-François Gombeau just in the next room, just next to me right now, and he's on the pilot frequency. So when the pilots need something, he's more or less doing the contest director every evening when I cannot be there with the pilots. So it was more or less throughout the week that I was doing the comments as well. So yeah, he's doing my job basically with the pilots. If they have any problem, he's there, and he's trying to solve everything. He's also responsible for the servers with Romuald and so on. So yeah, we've had absolutely great comments from you've heard Brian, you've heard a lot of good messages as well on the videos, and just thanks a lot for the support. This morning as well during the briefing, they were like clapping for the organization team as well. So that was really really good for us, and we really appreciated it. Actually, we'll try to push forward in this sport. We're gonna have the same event next year. So what we will do basically for the esport, that we're gonna have 9 qualifying Sailplane Grand Prix in the world. I cannot tell you now, but Usman in Russia, that's gonna be for sure, because it was supposed to be last year, and they're gonna be next year as well. We already know probably where the final will be, but I cannot tell you for now. It's going to be really fun as well. So no final next year. It's going to be 9 qualifying in 12, 13 months, and then the final will be in 2023, of course, for the 11th series. Next year we'll have a lot of Condor races. We'll make it happen. Anyway, the aim is still to create a live ranking, an esport ranking, I mean, for the pilots, and then to have a lot of competitions. Next year, nine contests in esports with the FAI, and in 2023 we will have as well a good contest for the final event. We're back with Jeroen Jenen from Belgium. He's one of the leaders, as you know, of the competition right now. A really good pilot in both real and virtual life. He's made already some medals for Belgium. I mean, from the EGC, I think some years ago. So yeah, a very good pilot and definitely one of the best in Condor. We have Tim Madsen here. Logi Dupin is on his left, and I think he's trying to reach some better ridges to go there. But yeah, if I were him, I would go definitely for thermals right now because they are quite strong. Really bombastic weather for the pilots now. They are really pushing hard. I don't know, Tim, if you can give me the last figures for the average speed. 175, so 175 kph right now. That's fast, guys. We were expecting 200 kph for tonight, so yeah, that was the plan, to have a dynamic race in the mountains and to have fun for the pilots as well, because you know it's not easy to fly every day with a 0.5, 1, 2.5 meters per second. It's not a lot of fun. They love competition, but we love as well when it's really good weather, and I think they are enjoying it a lot right now. We'll see that later with the interviews, so we will take some of them. So yeah, if they are listening now, please guys, get ready. Once you're done, we will see. Maybe you can have Josh Meyers. We didn't have the pilot from the US yet in during the interviews. We've had Ben Fest already, Donna Pierluigi as well. Maybe Jeroen Jenen. Well, we've had him as well. Arne Martin Göttler as well. We've had him. So yeah, we will see. Maybe Tim Kuipers, who is flying well today, and Halil Koroglu, who struggled a bit. So maybe we'll try to do 3 interviews if we have the time, and then we will show you, as usual now, the highlights. Well, no highlights of the day, indeed. So maybe the highlights from yesterday, or I think there is still a short video from today, but they announced that it's cancelled in Saint-Auban. Yeah, so maybe Tim will find out what we can show you afterwards. So now back with Tim Kuipers from the Netherlands. Yeah, he's been quite unlucky because he's a 737 captain, and he's been called several times in reserve. So he was not supposed to fly, but he's been called by his company to fly. So yeah, he's had to miss some days, unfortunately for him. Really. So we've had other pilots from the Netherlands to back him up, but yeah, they couldn't score any points for him. Yeah, so now he's doing a good job. He's really as well one of the best in Condor. So yeah, it's great to see. Really great to see. Just checking the pilots now with Donna Pierluigi. I think he's near Côte Longue. And Benfest, yeah, Benfest is much lower than him. Benfest is much lower. That's interesting to see. Maybe he can finish ahead of him right now. What do we have in front of us, Tim? In front of Donna Pierre? I think it's going to be the Lake of Castillon. Yeah, that's it. Lake of Castillon in front of him. I think 15 kilometers ahead. We have Tim Kuipers just next to the lake, the small lake that you see. There's Witold Roszak as well leading, and Josh Meyers. Just checking the altitude for Witold, 2,600 meters, and for Fox 1, 2,900. So we can assume they are more or less at the same pace right now. For Tim Kuipers, 2,300. Yeah, just a little bit behind. JJJ now at almost 3,000, so that's really good. Maybe can catch them up. 269 right now at 3,100, really good as well. And Bedfest is really lower, so he's not really in the same group right now. He needs to climb to find something 2,350 meters now. The last leg today, I'm going to tell you how many kilometers that they have to do on this last leg. It's going to be 61 kilometers to reach the reporting point, and then 3 kilometers between the reporting point and Saint-Auban. So 64 kilometers to do once they reach turn point 4, Le Logis du Pin, outlanding field. Yeah, so you can see Lake of Castillon just on the right side, just below my face, basically just right there. Sorry, yeah, thanks team. Lake of Castillon. You can land out north of this lake in the field of Flamur or south. Then you go to Le Logis du Pin to outland. Try not to outland in the lake. It's not that great, even in real life. I think some pilots have done that some years ago. Josh Meyers from the US now climbing at 3,000 meters, sorry, better than feet. Right now at this place, Witold Rozak just behind him. Yeah, he's leading the race. He's done quite amazing races so far. Josh often leading the races, so yeah, it's great to see. Always pushing. Sometimes he has outlanded, I think, 2 times, but sometimes it pays off. And yeah, today is a great race for him as well. Tim Madsen taking really a huge thermal here. Huge thermal. Yeah, look at that. It's climbing so fast. Look at the altitude on the left as well. Top on the bottom left. Yeah. It's at least 4 meters per second. At least. It's flown 261 kilometers out of 350, so 90 kilometers left for him right now. That's a huge lift. Wow. So that's the total energy that you see. That's not the compensated value. So it's not 10 meters, but probably he has some 7 meters sometimes, or even 8 meters. That's really amazing. Like, I was not expecting to have such a big value today. We're expecting maximum 5 meters per second, maybe 6 as a really a maximum, but this one looks really strong thermal. And we're back with Donna Pierluigi now, and Benfest really much lower. Much lower. 260 kph with some downwind for Donna Pierre, almost 30 kph downwind, so probably 230, 240 kilometers per hour in the cockpit right now. I'm trying to check if you have questions, guys. Please ask in the chat. Try to do it on YouTube because I'm more looking at YouTube than the others. It's much easier for the chat, but just ask, please. Gorka Doyen. So he's in the top 10, Gorka, on the overall results and on today's race as well. So he has scored already some good points, really good points. That's really nice from him. So Gorka is a real pilot as well. There are not a lot of pilots in Spain, but he is really one of them, and he has an ASH 31. So yeah, I think he's enjoying a lot flying there. It's really great, honestly, to see real pilots in this esport community. Arne Martin as well, very good pilot in real. He won already the nationals with Norway. So yeah, it's great to see. We have a really nice footage from him. I would like to thank him again because we can take his live streaming to put that in our stream. So that's really cool to have an inside view because we have an inside view in Spectate, but it's not really compensated with the value now in Spectate. So we cannot have really a nice stabilized view yet, but it will probably come in the future. So we'll not have to use others a stream like this. But we really appreciate that he's doing a stream because it brings a lot to the community to see that. Yeah. And you can already see that on his GPS is looking with the +2, is looking at his Mac ready for the arrival. And now it just needs 1,200 meters with Macready at +3. I think that's the right Macready for today arrival, because with +3 and the upwind is going to be able to push a little bit and to be safe to arrive. I think that's a good technique. Witold reaching the turn point at Le Logis du Pin. I think he's the first pilot, and now heading back to Saint-Aubin. Yeah. And Fox One just behind him. I think 300 meters above. Yeah, don't miss that turn point, Josh. Well done. Great race so far by both pilots, really. And JJJ on the third place right now. That's interesting to see. I'm gonna try to write some stuff down so we don't forget who's leading and who's behind yet at the end, and who's made differences on that last leg. And I think just behind JJJ is gonna be Donapierre Luigi from France, and then Benfest from Germany. Maybe there's Tim Kuipers as well, quite close to the turn point now, unless he's made a big mistake. So yeah, can't wait to see that. Yeah, I can see that you're talking about virtual reality gears in the comment section. If you're using some of them, please just give us some advice. If you prefer like the Oculus Rift S or something like this, tell us why, because it really interests. It is of a big interest for me as well. So just please say that in the comment section so I can see what you prefer and what's the best if we want to buy some stuff like this in the future. That's really interesting for us. So now we have, I think, Benfest and Tim Kuipers and 269 who are flying together now in the second gaggle, second group. Yeah, and TKM is going straight to the point. I thought, yeah, that's it. TKM is going to the point now. And he's flying at 3,500 meters. So that's quite high. Now Benfest is only at 2,500. So he's on the first place right now. Tim Madsen flying really well today. Maybe we'll get an interview with him at the end. Would be really nice. Yeah, TKM 6.2. Yeah, maybe he's got 6.2 average on that last thermal. He climbed so well. Look at him. He's really high compared to the others. Looks like an airliner, really. Look at this. Now the guys are 1,000 below. Witold 2,500. Josh at 2,800 nearly. And TKM looks so high right now. Yeah, he's had an amazing lift. I think the guys here are going to try to go straight to that lift and to climb as high as they can before reaching Saint-Aubin. So that's only 52 kilometers left for the guys. 52. Yeah, Josh is more or less on the glide now. 2,700. I think now they can push really. They have some headwind, but they are flying really fast. I cannot wait to see the average speed, maybe above 200. Do you have the last one, Tim, maybe? I'm going to check that on the other screens. Yeah, 171. So probably 200 kph if they continue like this. Or 185, between 185 and 200, I think. We will see that in a few minutes. So Tim Kuipers is here. Is the fourth pilot to cross Logis du Pin turn point. I'm just trying to check, guys, the overall results, what it will be if it stays like this. Then we have Euronienen. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That would be 3 points for Benfest. And Witold would take the lead, I think, tonight. I think that's what I want to check now. Fox One will take 10 points, making 29. Then Witold Rozak 8 points, making that 40 points. And that's better than Benfest right now. We would have JJJ with 5 more points, making 40 as well. So the leaders will be Witold and Jeroen at the end of the day, with Benfest at 38. So yeah, we will see what happens next. So that's the 3D view. We have JJJ reaching now the turn point 4. Le Logis du Pin, Benfest now climbing 3,200 meters, 269, 3,600 meters. Gorka, Davide Giovanni as well, flying really well with Arne Martin just behind them. And there is another guy, and then Sierra Lima. So that's the top 10 of the day right now. I think Davide will try to catch some points today. He can be in the points, really. He's at 1 point already. So yeah, Santiago Lopez is not so far, and he's looking for his first point. So yeah, maybe that's the day for Santiago from Colombia. So back with the Belgian pilot, the leader of the competition tonight. Flying at 258 kph. He's flying really fast now. Yeah, Team Kuiper's just above him now. Thanks, Team. And TKM behind was crossed this turn point. Yeah, he passed the turn point. Yeah, so that may be 1 more point even for JJJ, because TKM is on the 5th place. So JJJ probably leading the race tonight. Interesting. Witold Rozak probably maybe the winner of the day, and Fox One just next to him. Yeah, I can't wait to see if I think Witold is quite close from the ridges now. Well placed. We'll see. Variometer is not so nice now, but it should improve once he's on the right side of the mountains. Yeah, gonna improve in a few moments for him. Yeah, guys, thanks for your comments on the virtual reality gears. I'm reading that right now. Yeah, great. Well, thanks a lot, guys. So back with Donapierre now for an exciting finish for the guys ahead. Really a nice flight. I think they really enjoyed. So I think the arrival for the first ones will be in maximum 10 minutes now. Can we have the 2D view for a moment, Tim, please? Just want to check who is reaching the turn point. So that's 269 before Benfest, 269 at 3,200, and Benfest at 3,000 meters now. So yeah, Donapierre has a really good advantage right now. Witold is at 1,800, so quite low compared to Fox One. Fox One is flying now at 2,100. Yeah, so a bit below now. But on a more direct route with some ridges in front of him to help him, maybe. I'm not sure that it will be enough because they are pushing a lot. Yeah, in real life, maybe we will not push that much. I don't think we will push that much to reach Saint-Auban. That's interesting. So we have, yeah, Fox One, Witold. Then it was November X-Ray, but we have JJJ here, 2,700, and November X-Ray, 2,800. Yeah, so November X-Ray is higher than them. Then JJJ, TKM, Donapierre Luigi 269, Benfest. Then we're gonna have Sierra Lima maybe, but yeah, he's a bit lower than Alpha Mike. Yeah, quite lower. Alpha Mike is good now, and Gorka as well. That's good. That's really good to see. Yeah, so that will be 41 for JJJ. Witold at 40. Yeah, great. So Witold Rozak now from Poland is reaching La Montagne de Ben. We call it Ben at 1,600 meters approximately, Ben. So yeah, he's just reaching the top. He's gonna reach the top of Ben when passing through. You should try to use the ridge a little bit. That's a really common ridge that we use flying from Saint-Auban, really. When we go to the east, or when we need to go to the southeast to Pont des Guines, we go from Saint-Auban. We either reach Cosson or we go straight through Puy-Michel and then go to Ben. Then Ben, you climb a little bit, 1,800. If you can make 2,000, 2,200, it's really good because you can go straight to Serre de Mandonnier to the south, near Puy-Moisson, and then you can go to the Lake of Sainte Croix. JJG has went for the ridges as well, so he's pushing 255 kph now. So yeah, average speeds are going to increase quite a lot now. And that's 39 kilometers to go for JJJ. For Fox 1 now, where are we? Yeah, thanks a lot. 1,700 meters is going straight for the point, straight for it. It's going to be reporting point, then a landing, a straight landing on the south runway. Wind coming from the northwest, so they're going to have really crosswind landing now. That's going to be interesting to see as well. Wind pushing 23 kilometers from a 313 degrees now. End of the race looks very exciting between Witold Raclo and Fox 1 for the win today. Then JJJ, November X-Ray, TKM are quite close, pushing behind Donapierre and Benfest. Yeah, that's amazing. And at turn point, we could see Sierra Lima and Arne Martin and Gorka reaching the point as well. Yeah, Witold is a bit lower, and yeah, he needs to cross the Puy-Michel plateau now. Jurgen and 2,000 meters. We have Tim just on his left. Yeah, Tim is higher by 200 meters. Yeah. Tim Madsen is still here on the ridges. That's good for him. A little bit behind the guys ahead. So yeah, it's going to be tough to catch them unless they make a big mistake or push just too hard before Saint-Auban. Minimum arrival altitude is 500 meters. So yeah, they need to be careful with that. There were some penalties for the low arrivals already throughout the weeks. For the week, sorry. Can I have an updated average speed, please? Tim, right now, I think it's going to be 180 for sure. 174, yeah, only. So yeah, we should reach 180, but yeah, I cannot wait to see the results for this race. They're pushing really hard right now. Benfest 225 kph at 2,250 meters. Yeah, behind Donapierre and below. Yeah, not an easy day for the German pilot today. Really losing his first place on the overall results. And now the race is really open between Witold and Josh. They are really at the same distance of the point of the turn point now. Just checking the altitudes now. So yeah, 1,200 meters for Witold. It's gonna be enough. I can tell you with that energy. Same for Fox 1, but he's going to have a lot of downdraft, I think, just before the mountain in front of him. Vomuse and so on, and Ruth and Pilon. Those mountains just east, on the east side of Saint-Auban. Yeah. Same for Vitold. They're not very well aligned with the ridges and the wind. I would go a little bit on the right for him now. He's really going straight, and he's gonna have downdrafts everywhere if he keeps staying on that line. So that's interesting to see. I think he's flying fast, and he's trying to get as close as he can and as fast as he can to the turn point. But yeah, going a little bit more on the right would be better for him probably. Yeah, 230 kph for the GS3, Josh Meyers, while Vitold was flying at 215. So yeah, a small advantage now for Josh. He's on the good side of the valise, Josh, now. On the good side for the wind. He's going to have downdraft at the end of the small hills here, because he will be just behind Vomus and Ruth and Colette. But it's going to be better than where Vitold is right now, because he's really getting all the downdraft from the small hills that you can see just next to him. The hills between Fox 1 and Vitold now. So that's a great finish for the pilots. I think Josh Meyers will win his second day. So he's going to be the first one to win 2 days, because Donapier didn't win in the end the day 2 of this contest. Yeah, I think if we had a pilot of the day, it would be probably Josh today. Yeah, Vitold is trying to get over those ridges. Yeah, Josh now leading the race. So that's the 6th race of the week right now. Tomorrow is the last race, guys. Follow us, because we will be in Saint-Auban, and we will not be in this room. We will be outside, and we will invite the pilots of the Sailplane Grand Prix to comment a little bit, talk about their Grand Prix here in Saint-Auban. So yeah, it's gonna be nice. Please join us tomorrow. It's gonna be really fun. Fox 1 now reaching turning point, reporting point, and leading the race. Witold Rozak just behind him on the reporting point. Well done, Josh. Really a great race, for sure, pilot of the day. 10 points in the pockets. That makes it 29 for you, Josh. Well done. What a great race from you, leading nearly from the beginning. That's really good. Amazing for the GS3 as well. Very good job. Well done, Josh. And Vitold as well. Very consistent. Vitold throughout the week. Yeah, he's one of the best pilots in Condor as well. Vitold. He's won already the Condor World Cup in 2018, I think, and then was on the 2nd and 3rd place the years after. So yeah, amazing job. We have Tim Kuipers catching a lot of points today, Tim. He's at 3 points already, Tim. So that's gonna be good. 7 more points for Tim Kuipers probably in the fight with Jeroen Jelen from Belgium. So that makes it 40 points for Witold Rozak right now. If Tim is ahead of JJJ, that would make 7 more points, making 10 points for the Dutchman. Then we would have JJJ with 6 points. Yeah, nice race team as well, with nice choices. 176 kph for Josh Meyers, winner of the day, apparently, Tim told me. Oh yeah, great race, fast race for the guys. Yeah, JJJ just pushing. We do exactly the same, guys. When we arrive in Saint-Auban from the east, we push just right here on that hill, and we go through the small pass that we have in front of us with this wind, with exactly this wind. So that's really nice to see, honestly, when we push. But it's much more turbulent when we do that in real life, I can tell you. Yeah, he's trying to push. He wants to catch Tim, but yeah, it's gonna be really difficult for him, because Tim has a little bit more energy now. with his nice skin, nice Ventus tree. That's amazing, honestly. Yeah, and now Tim is crossing the line on the podium today. Well done, Tim. Really well done. And Jeroen Jennen gonna be the leader of the competition tonight with 41 points. 6 more points in the pocket for Jeroen Jennen. Great race. Very consistent as well throughout the week, Jeroen. Yeah. Amazing low pass as well for the guys. We have Tim Madsen making huge points today as well. So he had 10 points, Tim. Now that's going to be 15 points for him. 5 more points in the pocket. Next is going to be probably Donna Pierluigi. Yeah, he's just behind him, Donna Pierre now. Pushing at, almost 1,000 meters. That's going to be enough to pass the mountains in front of him. That's for sure. Behind is Benfest, yeah. 1,271 meters. That should be enough with the energy as well. So Donna Pierre is gonna have 34 points. And Benfest should have 38 points if they both arrive. So that would be JJJ leader with 41 points, followed by Vitold with 40 points and Benfest with 38 points. Then we have 269 with 34 and probably Fox One with 29. We have Arne Martin as well, probably following on the overall results. That's Tim Madsen. Well done, Tim. Very good points today for you. 5 points on the 5th place. What a race, really. Great race to follow. I hope you enjoyed, guys. You can tell us in the chat if it was good for you as well to follow this kind of bombastic river or not. And the Bleu Blanc Rouge skin from France with Donna Pierre, kind of Patrouille de France, for the guys who know it, the French air show display from the French Air Force. Really nice skins. They are all available, guys, on condor.club if you want them. They were made by Thomas Truffaut, a guy from Italy, really nice guy, who's won already some FAA medals in RC models. So yeah, that's great to see. Yeah, I think it's back now. Donna Pierre, 538 meters, that should be okay, 260 kph. No one is pushing behind him, it's okay. For the race, well done, Donna Pierre. 4 more points today. Benfest arriving now. Maybe, Jean-François, I don't know if you're here and listening, but you can try to catch some guys for the interviews. Maybe we can have Fox One, Josh Meyers, Tim Kuipers, if he's listening as well and ready for an interview, and Tim Madsen, TKM. That would be nice. Yeah, Benfest now approaching reporting point. Unfortunately, losing his leading place tonight. Hopefully, he can make something great tomorrow. It's going to be a nice task tomorrow. Nice weather forecasted in Saint-Auban. And the winner will have a bonus point. So 11 points for the winner tomorrow. Yeah, 8 points for the second. So yeah, with 38 points, he just needs Joran to make a mistake. And if he wins today with Vitol second, then Ben wins the competition tomorrow. Yeah, so he can win for sure. Donapierre can still catch the podium in case Ben or Vitold misses the flight. There's going to be more difficult if for Donapierre if Joran keeps leading the race. He has 5 more points, so yeah, it's going to be difficult to catch him now. But we will see. Nothing is done yet. They can all make mistakes tomorrow. It's not going to be easy, not as easy as tonight. Really a different flight that we have seen today with this bombastic weather. Pilots are not used to it. They are not used to flying the high mountains like this. So I think that some pilots are struggling, still struggling at the back of the pack now. We have Arne Martin Guttler coming in just behind Benfest. So that's going to be 2 points for you, probably, Arne Martin. Yeah, McCready at 4. That's good. That's not going to be an issue. Arne Martin, he had 25 points. I think that's going to be 27 for him. And we are starting to receive the files from today's race. Sorry. So that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, I love his skin as well from Arne Martin. Yeah, his skin from Norway. I really love it. Like, you can really see that it's the flag from Norway. That's really cool. Yeah, thanks Tim for showing it. It's nice. Yeah, back from inside. Maybe we can follow him until the end. Looks like there's someone just behind him. I think it's Gorka just behind, but we will see that. Yeah, that's it. Echo Uniform Sierra, Gorka just behind him, and then Mike X-Ray. So Gorka probably is going to be in the point today, scoring 1 point. That's going to be 11 points for him, I think. That's going to be 10 points. So he had 9 points before the race. So yeah, making it 10 tonight. Bombastic or bombastic? Well, hopefully bombastic, but yeah, sometimes it's not easy to talk in English, guys, for such a long time, especially. We have Josh Meyers and Tim Kuipers. I don't know if you have the cameras, guys. Maybe I can go with Josh first on the interview. Great. And yeah, Tim, when you are ready, you will tell me and we'll start the interview with Josh. So yeah, maybe we can follow the arrival of Arne from the cockpit, but I guess you are trying to catch the interview and so keep it like this if you can't do it yet. Yeah, Tim Kuipers is going to be in the interview as well later. Well done, Arne. Great flight from you as well. I think it was easy at some point and much more difficult sometimes. That was really nice, by the way, to have you yesterday during the interview. And now we're going to have Josh Meyers in a few moments. Looks like it's good for our video production team. So yeah, congrats, Arne. And welcome here, Josh. I can see it's sunny in the US right now. Well, what can you tell us about the flight? Congratulations for the win. Second daily win for you. So that's really nice, honestly. Yeah, congrats. Yeah, we have no sound now. Can you
hear me okay?
talk with
Okay,
talk like this on Discord?
No problem. Yeah, I was just waiting for a day like today when the complication of the course was such that decision making mattered more than the performance of the aircraft. And I was able to split with the field early, which surprised me a little bit. All the leaders went to the left, I stayed to the right or to the south. And that was a key to start, get to that first strong thermal, get up, get over the mountains, and get into the powerful conditions.
Yeah, well, you were definitely, as we said, pilot of the day. I think you really leaded the race from the beginning, and it was really impressive to see your skills today. So really congrats for that. Do you have any expectations for tomorrow? Because now you have 29 points. Maybe you can still catch the podium tomorrow if you make really the perfect day with a win and with some trouble for the other pilots. Maybe you can make it to the podium. But honestly, it's amazing to win already 2 competition days. No one has done it. We thought Donapier did it, but yeah, with the penalties, finally you are the first one to make it in the first virtual SGP. So yeah, congrats for this.
Yeah, I made a decision early on to start flying very aggressive, which cost me a little bit over the last couple days. It cost me maybe a third place finish 2 days ago. I want to keep the JS3 out front, getting talked about on Twitch and on YouTube, and it's valuable to the brand. I didn't get lucky those days. Today, I found stuff early. It wasn't really luck, but today there was enough power out there that with good decision making, I could stay out front. As far as tomorrow, you, I think, know my personality by now. I'm hoping for a day like today. If it's another very weak day, it's very difficult to overcome the 4 or 5% performance advantage of the Ventus. Like yesterday, I felt very bad for the Turkish pilot. He was in a very strong position very late in the race, and you could see the Ventus just sweep by him.
Yeah, I understand the feeling. Yeah, tomorrow is supposed to be really nice here in Saint-Auban, so hopefully you will have as well a very good task with nice weather. I'm really hoping for it as well. I love strong speeds and so on. So yeah, strong thermals. I think it was really fun to follow tonight. They were unlucky; they couldn't do anything today in the real SGP. But yeah, we are lucky to have virtual races and to be able to go for any weather that we want. We talked about version 3 of Condor yesterday on the live. It was announced. It's going to be even better, the weather that we will be able to set in the future. So with a lot of variability during the task. So it's going to be really interesting to do as well. Well, Josh, thanks a lot. Thanks for wearing the shirt as well. That's cool. Yeah. Do you own a GS?
No, I don't. No, when I signed up for this event and committed to the JS3, the American distributor was trying to get me a flight in the JS3 before the competition, so I'd be able to talk about the accuracy of the modeling in Condor and things like that. And that didn't work out, but hopefully in the future I'll at least get a chance to fly one. I'd love to keep representing their brand. That would be a lot of fun. As far as tomorrow goes, you can expect me to try to put the JS3 out front again. And if the conditions are strong, maybe I'll get lucky and be able to keep it out front the whole time.
That sounds really good. So thanks a lot. And yeah, thanks for representing Junkers. You've done really a great job. And yeah, they posted on Facebook as well about the races. That's really good to see.
Yeah, I got a personal email from Ace Yonkers, and that feels pretty good to know he was watching your flying that day and give you a big thumbs up over email. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, the guys at the bar are watching. I know that in a lot of clubs around Europe and in the world, they are just putting a screen and then they are all viewing in the same room. So we don't know the figures really of how many people are watching the races every evening. But yeah, we know that there's quite a lot of people in every airfield watching those races. So that's really cool to see and to, yeah.
If the Condor team is watching, I'd be more than happy to help them design, a more balanced playing field. I've flown lots of different gliders in lots of different conditions, and I know they're continuing to upgrade the product. And I know they were talking yesterday about looking very closely at the AS33 that's coming out and the JS3. and the Ventus 3 and making sure that they're accurate to real life. And it would be loads of fun to actually fly the aircraft and then make sure Condor represented them accurately. I would love to see a situation where one glider had a small climb advantage, but another glider had a high speed performance advantage, much like reality. That would be, I think that would make very close racing, and it would be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Well, Josh, congrats again. 2 daily wins. We see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot for the interview. Really appreciate it. And yeah, see you.
Thank you very much for putting this on again. I've had a lot of fun this week. I've learned a tremendous amount. If I'm invited back to the next event, I will fly better.
Thanks. Amazing, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So back to the race a little bit with Santiago Lopez coming in. And we will have then Tim Kuipers from the Netherlands coming in when Tim is ready. But I think he's going to be really ready in a moment now. Yeah, he's good. Well, we can go with Tim Kuipers now. Hello, Tim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's good. A little bit weak for the sound, so maybe if you can have the mic a little bit closer to your mouth, but yeah, it's gonna be okay.
I can hold it closer.
Yeah.
€1 backup plan.
It's perfect now. Well, congrats for the podium tonight. First podium of the week. I think you're quite happy to fly the races because you were unable to join some of them due to work. That we quite understand, to be honest. So yeah, congrats. Tell us more about the flight tonight.
Well, yeah, as you say, of course, I'm a bit disappointed I couldn't join, but well, pandemic or not, sometimes duty calls. And yeah, as a glider pilot, you always want to fly, of course, but sometimes there is work to be done. But I'm very happy to join you guys for the last 3 days. I've been following both the Grand Prix and the esports Grand Prix with great attention, watching back all the live streams, and yeah, it's nice to be part of it. And I'm a bit ashamed that I couldn't join before. So my goal was 3 day victories in the last 3 days I could fly, which I filled already for 66%.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, the competition is really high, and that's only good. So well, I had a bit of a discussion with my Dutch coach, deciding on what route to fly on the task, and especially in the beginning. And he just gave me confidence, said, well, you usually know to find the route best yourself, so just fly yourself. And it was actually nice to, the first part, fly in the coupe and to see how it all would plan out. And that was actually really a really great thermal there, 5.5, 6 meters. And I think I saw Josh, he didn't comment back on me, but I think I saw him like wing dip the JS3 just above the ridge. And well, I said his recovery technique for recovering a spin and eventually winning the day would be really good.
That was the comment.
And then I just
like
tried to stick. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether he spun, but or it was just a hiccup in the connection. But yeah, well, he did a good recovery because after that I could only watch him from below. Yeah, my tactic failed a bit. I guess I crossed the Barcelonette Valley in the hope to ridge fly all the way to the turn point, but then at Col de Var, yeah, there was not really a good climb. I had to make a few circles, and yeah, I think that's where they had a better climb at that Cigarette, I think. Yeah, and then there were a few opportunities to do something different. In hindsight, turning the écran, I think what Tim Madsen did was very smart. There was a good chance, but yeah, I tried to find a really good climb and stay a bit higher, use the tailwind component. But when leaving the écran, I just couldn't find a good climb. So then in order to do something different, I flew the backside of the parcours again, which was actually quite nice. And I took one more detour to find a different, better climb than Josh and Witold. But just at the back of the Cheval Blanc, I think there was a cloud exactly on top of the ridge, and I was really hoping to find another 5.5, 6 meters there and be on final glide, but that didn't come, and then it was just securing third place. So yeah, that was it.
Great. Well, that's why I said during the live streaming after the start, I think I would have gone for your option. In real life, I would have gone to Coupe directly, because at that point, Malmoisson at 1,800 meters, I think the best way to do it today was to do that and then try to climb on Coupe or Cheval Blanc and then Grand CO line to cross the Ubay Valley of Barcelonette. I think it was really the thing to do, and then to follow the ridges up to Col Daniel. I think it was really the best way to do it. It was surprising for us to see all the options that we have seen at the beginning. Some going to Blayeul, some straight in to Trois Évêchés de l'Estrop, and yeah, the most obvious one was to go to Coupe, and yeah, I think you did well on that.
Yeah, the thing is different from real life is that ridges don't really produce pulsating thermals as they do.
Yeah.
In real life, they do pulsate, and if you just have a bit of patience, you will climb there. Sometimes good or better, but in Condor, you really have to have the luck that there's actually a cumulus forming on top.
Yeah.
And that was the luck we had. But yeah, just like real life, I guess, it's better to stay just on the top of the ridges where they will always work. And if you sink down too low with the north component, it's not the best, especially if the sun is coming a bit more from the south. So that's what I tried to stay on top of the ridge. And yeah, also it was a bit new territory to fly. Well, not a full 18-meter class glider in McCready 5 regions, which is also a bit of experimenting. And it's not really, how do you call? We don't know exactly whether it's really smart to fly 230, 240 kph. But if they say it's possible in Condor, it usually works.
Yeah, there's less turbulence. Yeah, easier to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
the fact is, in real life, I don't fit in the Ventus 3, so I really like the opportunity to enjoy a bit of the Ventus 3. And thanks, I don't know who made the orange skin for the Ventus. It looks really brilliant.
Yeah, you like it?
Super, yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, I'll tell him. I'll pass him the word. Thanks a lot, Tim, for joining us. And I can wish you until the best for tomorrow. A daily win, maybe for you.
11 points. Then I have the first 11 pointer of this competition, because that would have been my question for Brian. In the old competition, there would be a certain turn point, and whoever reached it first would get an extra point. It would, especially in Condor, could be fun, I guess.
Yeah. I think we'll try to think about that again. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna do my best tomorrow, and encouraging every aspiring Condor pilot to join us here in the future.
Well, thanks a lot, Tim. I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks for the interview. Congrats for the podium today. Yeah, and now Halil Koroglu, the Turkish man, crossing the finish line. Well done, Halil. Not an easy flight, because the guy only started gliding a year ago. Just imagine, he's never flown in real life, but he's flying quite well in the virtual world. So yeah, I can only wish him a good start of his career in the future, because this guy has a huge potential, and I hope he's going to join the real competition for Turkey in some years. Yeah, so congrats, Halil. Very good flight. We have Kresimir Rastovek from Croatia just behind him, above the minimum altitude of 500 meters. Do we have a last interview, or do we finish now? I think we can have either TKM or no one. I think 2 interviews are already great. So if TKM is ready, I will take him. Otherwise, we will finish for today. Just checking, guys. Yeah, and that's Johnny Haddad and Victor 1. I think he's not used to fly in high mountains. Yeah, but he did a great job tonight, really. Really good job. Not an easy competition for him, but he has a lot of experience. He's even a flight instructor. He has more than 11,000 hours. So yeah, just imagine. It's a lot, really. Yeah, congrats, Johnny. And I think that we will stop the interview. I don't know if, Tim, you have something to show to the public about highlights of the day, if you were able to find that or not. But you will tell me in a second. Yeah, no race, so he didn't find anything, so no highlight. Well, guys, we will close the live now with the finish of Johnny Haddad from Brazil. And it's a really nice skin again. Really, I love those skins. Thanks a lot, Thomas, for this. It looks really aggressive and so on, so that's really nice. Just a recap of the race. First one is Josh Meyers winning the day with 10 points. Then Witold Rozak, 8 points. Tim Kuipers on the podium with 7 points. JJJ Jeroen Jennen from Belgium, 6 points. TKM 5, 269er, 4 points. Benfest, 3 points. Alpha Mike, 2 points. And Gorka, 1 point. Top 10 with Mikko Nurminen. On the overall results, we have Jeroen Jennen with 41 points, followed by Witold Rozak, 40 points. Benfest, 38 points, can still win tomorrow. Then we have Donna Pierluigi, 34. Fox 1, Josh Meyers with 29, and then Arne Martin with 27. That looks a really good top 6 right now. Guys, thanks a lot for joining tonight, and we will follow, I guess, the landing of Johnny Haddad, and then I will tell you goodbye. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the question. I hope you enjoyed having Brian Sprakeley with us tonight and Benjamin Neglet from the French team. So yeah, just thanks. We see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, please stay tuned to the FAI SGP channel. We have the last race tomorrow, starting at 1:30 p.m. French local time. And it's going to be a great race between Mario Kisling and Sebastian Carwa for the win. And then there are 4 pilots who can go on the podium. So that's going to be really nice to follow. Then in the evening, we will have the eSport races. So just follow us tomorrow. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. And we see you, of course, tomorrow, 1:30 for the real race and 8 p.m. for the virtual. Bye-bye from Saint-Auban.